Okay, so last time your group was able to move northward away from the Tiamarax temple after rescuing the Eagles as well as a few others along the way, and being able to finally get rid of this curse, poison, what have you, that was plaguing Owl. Moving through Scorchhaven, Sailbrook, and then eventually going to Glenhold Woods, you parted way with the merchant Fayeth and kept a hold of the companion Dotaro that you found on the road. Your time spent in the Glenhold Woods seemingly didn't take as long as was expected, though it could just be that the most recent events have sped things along, or the plants had time to properly grow in your absence. Thankfully, not taking too much time up from the DST, the Eagles were able to cure Al to your best knowledge, removing the poison and allowing her to transform back into a dragon. Though either through the cure, the poison itself, or something else entirely, it seems like she now has access to another strain of her bloodline, granting her her previous lightning dragon form and also allowing her to transform into an earth dragon. Though seemingly sticking to the lightning form just for now, after parting ways with the Eagles, you continued westward as your first stop of Fen Elds, that you just wanted to go to like 10 days ago, is finally on the docket. On getting past more of the deserted areas of the Sateni lands, however, you were accosted on the roads by some more of those Reaper crows, calling out for the one that their master sees. Along with them, two other undead flanked your carriage, those said undead being very mindful to destroy your doors. Though with a lengthy use of mending, you were able to reattach them and get the carriage back into a civilized order. During the fight, Dotaro did assist, showing what he can bring to the party, if not just his cheerful attitude, in using both holy arts as well as defending others by taking the blow for them. After healing up, it seemed like Edwin, at least, had a discussion to have with Al, as Dotaro had already talked to Drazenka about this earlier, as both Dotaro and Edwin's abilities, or at least some of them, seemingly adversely affected Al. Edwin hurting and blinding her, whereas Dotaro, when he inflamed his sword, caused a great aversion to Al, who didn't want to get anywhere near him. Discussing shortly with that, it seemed like most of the group was of the idea that Al hasn't done anything too horribly against you thus far. So aside from her rather bloodthirsty nature, she is still a valued member of the team. Though on the side of Dotaro, he seems a bit more reserved, as he's only known Al for a few days at this point, and has only seen a dark aura from her. As being a paladin or some other means, can seemingly see alignments. I don't think Zairin has really had a conversation about this, though he could have noticed what happened to Al from Edwin, or maybe even overheard their discussion, though with his perception, that's a low chance of that occurring.
And he was on the other side of the carriage.
Yeah, so that's why it's a distance thing. And split it off just as you were setting up camp for yet another night away from Glenhold Woods, with a good 2 days, or maybe 3, depending what happens on the road, before you get to Fen Eld. And as it comes up to the third watch, I would need Zairin, Al, and Dotaro to roll perceptions.
Holy moly!
Well, here's me just giving you shade about your perception.
I rolled a 2.
Siren is hyper vigilant for about 10 minutes a day.
Well, this is the 10 minutes that matters.
This time. Did you tell me you rolled a 2? How dare.
Alright. As you three are on watch, this will most likely jumpstart Josenka and Edwin awake, but it's not going to be a harsh effect. As you three are looking around for any sorts of threats and just doing your normal watch duties of either reading a book or attending to your weapons, Dotaro, surprisingly Siren, and Al, you will notice a almost thrush in the air as if something is dropping. And as you look towards the north, almost pretty much directly north, a bit to the west, you see a large clump of water, as if you have one of those instant downpours and they're over in a minute. This one, however, rolls over your camp from north to south and passes you by in a few seconds. Almost as if somebody dropped a bucket of water, though this way too large for how big of an area it overtook. It continues heading southwards, almost as if a wave washed over the area. At which point, Josenka and Edward will most likely jumpstart awake, as the water is relatively cold.
What happened?
I'm not entirely sure.
Go wet is what happened.
Rain started over there, swept through the area, and then disappeared.
Should have put a top up.
I'm wondering if maybe Lilith was going somewhere. They're quite close to her, or their domain.
Hard to say. I couldn't see anything besides the rain.
It's just conjecture.
Dotaro, did you see anything?
Aside from that rolling wave of rain and the direction it came from, the only thing else was the campfire went out. No other evil presences to be seen.
Can we still see the wave of water? Like, how fast was it moving?
It was very fast. Like I say, it was like somebody dropped a bucket on you. It's still rolling to the south. You would have to most likely roll Knowledge Nature to try and determine the nature of what's happened.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. Nope.
Water is maybe wet. It's a highly disputed fiction. Edwin, you have a good enough theory that since you are relatively close to the coast, and that it is the domain of a dragon, either the dragon themselves or something larger either came out of or went into at great speed, essentially made a very thin sort of tidal wave that wouldn't really cause damage. It'll essentially just do this rolling wave of rain.
Yes. Okay. Just like a diver's entry, but on a massive scale. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'll just explain that.
I wasn't too far off then with my little guess.
The Furrowed Awakening, but at least it's not anything harmful.
I don't know if you're going to be able to go back to sleep now, but maybe you guys could get dried off and try to go back to sleep for the rest of your rest period.
Might take a while, but probably best to at least try. And she'll go ahead and use like magical hygiene and cleaning to dry off.
Yeah, that'll work. After drying yourselves and probably waiting out the adrenaline rush of being startled awake with cold water, those who need to can return to their rest as the day will pass into the next. At which point, as you are putting down camp, Dotaro doesn't typically need to help you. Nobody has like large ass tents you're doing. So everyone will notice. Edwin apparently had the lowest roll of this. Dotaro is currently sharpening and banging out dents from his armor.
Did they really do that big of a number on your armor?
Just the usual wear and tear of having the knight's prowess. Nothing to worry about, Sir Zarian. I'm just doing my morning routine as the casters recover their magical powers, as it was. I didn't want to do it over the night and keep anyone awake.
That's very thoughtful of you.
I do wish to be a accommodating tag-along. I only have so much to bring to the table, as it were, and I don't want to be getting you all exhausted in the morning.
Much appreciated.
As the party settle up and continue on their way to Feneld.
I do believe that is our next destination.
Alright. Continuing on, you hit yet another crossroads, heading north, south, and westward. A nearby wooden post shows you several different settlements in either direction, but only the one to the south, as it notes Feneld a few dozen miles away. Taking the turn to the south, you can make a very good amount of distance towards the next settlement. And thankfully, this day and night goes through without any issue. Those with keener eyes will note that the rain did continue on for quite some distance, but as Edwin very astutely recognised, it didn't do much in the way of damage, at least nothing more than what a downpour would normally do. As another day will pass you by. Getting closer to Feneld, the carriage continues to rickety its way forward, though thankfully not in disrepair. As in the distance, a good 2 to 3 miles away, you see the settlement of Feneld, a picturesque small town nestled in the valley of Azure Peaks. Everyone can roll, if you have it trained, knowledge local, if you want a good enough overview of the area.
I've got that one.
Alright, Druzenka, you'll know some of the local legends and you could say delicacies, but it's more of its flora nature. You know that Fen Eld is known for its blooming time lilies, as well as a massive ancient chrono sundial. It is protected by a newly formed brigade of Time Knights, who are noble warriors who manipulate time magic to guard history from distortion. Though you know that they're called Time Knights, they are a grouping of temporal knights, time mages, quartzes, and anyone else that would have to do with time. They say Time Knights just so they don't say a particular class. And checking over the TK Brigade permit that you're given to by Aristat Crow, you can read across it as your contact, or at least the person who would be able to enchant your chocobos, as it notes Sir Halveth. Upon getting closer, you'll pass by another one of those wooden posts. Though this one, more of a squarish design, normally the kind you would see as you enter into a new town as a big old welcome and telling you where you are. However, it is obscured somewhat, as you spot a Sikh perched atop a teetering wooden ladder that looks 2 seconds away from collapse. A stout, porcine figure grunting softly as he fumbles with rusted bolts and squealing iron hinges. His overalls are an oil-streaked patchwork of leather and brass, with dozens of curious tools dangling from loots and belts. As you get closer, you see goggles adorning his eyes that glisten in the light. He mutters to himself in common. "Rusty bolts, and the hands are slow. Gotta tell him about that." He then notices the party as your character chocobos make quite a large amount of noise, and he'll kind of turn to you on his ladder, giving you a wave. "Hell, new folk, eh? Well, happy clockwise motions to you."
To you as well, sir. You okay up there?
Yeah, just doing some annual maintenance of sorts on this side. Making sure the boats ain't being getting loose by winds, cutting thorns off of it, give it a good old polish. Gotta have some pride in the place you live, right?
For sure. We're here looking for somebody. Is a Sir Halveth available that you know of?
Sounds familiar, but I don't keep up with all that timey-wimey business. My family's been here before they even settled up. I think they came here because of that old ancient thing we got at the town plaza. You could probably go ask at their barracks. I don't know, it's kind of like noon now. They're probably still open.
Well, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.
And you, I gotta say, just He then grabs hold on the sign as the ladder tilts to the side, and he rears it with his feet. Oh, guess I don't put that down steady.
Is he able to steady himself?
Yeah, he is. The sign just kind of wobbles a bit.
Zayn was half out of his seat, gonna jump out and help for a second, with the reins still in his hands.
Don't make me keep you now. This is all in the handyman's work manual.
I feel like there should be some sort of organization for safety. And I feel like you're breaking a lot of their rules.
Oh, no. I got my good old book here. He then taps on his tool belt, as you'll see just the tip of a book that reads Property of Rust-Tongue, Tinkery, and Pie Repair.
Pie repair?
Yes.
How does one repair a pie?
He then looks at his belt as his ladder starts to tip again. He grabs a hold about the sign and then moves the ladder with his feet again. That's an old family name, that is. I keep meaning to change the name, but you know, we got books, we got signs. It's a lot of work, and I've got a lot of things to fix.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just continue on before we cause you to fall. Please be careful, sir.
Thanking you kindly. I'll do my best. I might see you in town if you're sticking by.
Maybe not too long, but we'll see what happens. And then he'll giddy up on the chocobos and head on in.
Getting closer into Fen Eld, you'll definitely see the stark signs of time and its paraphernalia. Many clocks adorn the buildings, which is an incredibly rare sight, and it's strange that there's on so many buildings, though maybe not so much with the ever-present area of the Time Knights. There are also a few sundials here and there, as well as a massive one in the town square, easily twice, or probably even 3 times the height of Drzenka. The whole settlement has a strange kind of ticking hum to it, though after a few seconds you get used to it and you no longer even notice it's there. From the town plaza where the Chronos sundial is held, you will easily be able to see one of the local inns with a swinging sign called Then and Now. And in the distance you'll see a relatively large structure with a sword, chain, and the backdrop of a hourglass, which you could most likely relate to the Time Knight barracks.
Well, then I think we know where we're heading. Do you guys want to stop off at that inn over there first? Get ourselves settled in for potentially what might be the rest of the day, or...
Certainly, I don't mind either way.
Alright then. Sarah will head on over to the Now and Then, or Then and Now. Whichever one it was.
Moving a short distance away from the town square, you will approach the charming local inn, Then and Now. The place seems to have low foot traffic and is set up more like a tea house, with a few regulars having a snack. As you enter through the doors, a couple leave as you enter, nodding to you and saying, "Back again, eh?"
Siren will just look really dumbstruck and confused. He'll like give them a little wave, but like, what?
Do you want to go over to where the counter is?
Yes, please.
Alright. Moving to the counter, you smell a faint scent of old parchments, herbal smoke, and rain-soaked wood hung to dry. A painting adorns the far wall behind the counter of the valley the town is set within. Next to it is a ticking clock with a large hands for those who are drunk can still read. An Elvan at the counter greets you, tall and serene with long cloud-white hair and wearing robes of silver thread and muted indigo. An hourglass is etched into his shoulder straps. A name tag on his chest reads Aliar Sarian. Welcome back. Did you get what you need in town? I cleaned your room after last night's a party, I think you called it at the end. And of course, since I know Al is fond of the specials, he then pulls out a piece of parchment and hands it to Al. Today we have yesterday's tea, now cake, and chrono steeped cider. And don't worry, I can give her a triple if she's wanting it again.
I like this person.
You said the same when I assured you our alcohol would be strong for you.
Well then,
I
I
guess
double
quick and
like you.
empowered.
This is the first time we've ever been here. I'm so... What?
This is obviously a trick. I cast empowered flame strike and we all die.
I mean, it's the first time you've been here in the noon. I mean, you came here yesterday morning, set off of the town, and by the time you came back, you were looking to de-stress. Almost drunk me under the table.
No, I'm talking like ever in our entire lives, as far as I'm aware, at least for me.
I think, you had too much of a competition with Al there, Zyron. Ah, speaking of which, you wanted to drop your keys. He then fumbles under the counter and hands out 4 keys to you. I think, Dota Rose was still in his room, so the door was ajar.
Okay. Something is amiss here.
I'm trying to sense motive this guy.
Sure.
Just to
What do you
like,
try to gauge?
is he fucking with us or is there actually something that's
Like, he knows our
weird?
names.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but we're also part of a competition. We also have a reputation.
That's true. That's true.
God damn.
From what you can tell, he's acting as normal as you would think he would normally act. He's not seemingly lying. He even has a sort of disposition where he views you as not exactly friends, but very good clientele he wants to keep happy.
I see nothing wrong with this. He's providing us rooms and he's providing us drinks.
You're not at all worried that this is actually our first time here. Unless you took a detour yesterday somehow.
Something's going wrong with time here.
I mean, my memory's not good at the best of times, so who knows?
Let's get settled in for now and go take a look at the time temple place. We need to talk to somebody who knows more about this type of stuff than I do.
Probably a good plan. One thing at a time.
Zyron will take the keys that are being offered and ask the gentleman where the rooms are, because he doesn't remember.
You've lost in the rooms already? I guess it was a long night for all of you. Just go upstairs, and you did ask for them all next to each other. So it's rooms 2, 3, and 4. And then on the opposite side, it'd be 12 for Dotaro. Oh, 5, yes, sorry. But I think, yes. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 12 is the one that's the jar.
Okay. Thank you very much. Zyron just has a really bad feeling about all this.
Do you go to your separate rooms?
Zyron knows that he doesn't have the best ability to detect things on a regular day. He's going to ask either Al or Drazenka to see if any of the rooms have traps in them. or both.
I mean, if we supposedly were here, we should at least go take a look at the rooms. If we've left anything in them, or
Yeah.
they would be totally cleaned out.
And if you could look at, see if there's any lingering magic that might be here.
Does Drazenka use detect magic?
Yeah.
Roll me knowledge arcana.
Oof.
Not my best suit.
Drazenka, as you use detect magic, are you doing this downstairs, or are you currently in the corridor upstairs?
I think we move towards the rooms a little bit before I do them. Not like out in the completely out in the open, but
Yeah, Zyron wouldn't have even asked that until he got closer to the rooms.
Yep, that is fine. You will see that the area that you're currently in has a lingering aura, but as you look at it, it seemingly dissipates at the very end of when it was cast, and it's no longer able to be seen. Sadly, with your check, you are unable to identify it properly. Ed would
There
most
was
likely
something
see
here.
this. It's up to Edwin if he wants to do the same, because you already asked Drazenka about stuff.
I would ask like Edwin to also take a look, because he's better at this stuff than Drazenka is. There's something here, but
You sure? The same for Edwin.
I see what you mean, but unfortunately I don't have the capacity anymore to understand it.
well, I have to detect magic up. Are there any like effects on us that are not our usual items and such?
Nothing more than the usual.
I don't like this.
Doesn't seem like it's affecting us, just this area and our surroundings somehow. Whatever it is.
As I
Let's see
said,
if
I'm not very well versed in how time works yet, but this seems bad.
It's never a good sign to hear that you did something that you have no recollection of. Let's see if the rooms themselves have anything, and then go meet with the Time Knights.
Yeah.
Alright. If you go to your separate rooms, Drazenka, you will notice that the footboard of your bed has been pulled off. It can just be detached and is currently leaning on the floor, letting you lay into the bed at full length. There's also a brush on the side that has a few strands of fur, and a small setup of a shrine for you to put up candles and the like. It looks very similar to what you would normally do in a settlement to pray to Shiva. Edwin, on your desk, you will find several inkwells, quills, and pieces of parchment, all ready for a good night's study session in a design you would normally have. Zyron, on your bedside table, there is a screwdriver and a few other utensils, as well as screws and springs that would seem to be well used in patching and repairing your egg clock. As for Al, she's not here right now, so please leave a message.
Do these tools look like they would be like from a kit that I already have?
It seems like they were on loan from somebody else in town. They're very similar, but they're a bit more precise.
Okay. Yeah. God's Iron's just got the wibbly wobbly, timey wimey heebie jeebies. I know Jaster isn't here right now, but I did ask if they could check for traps if there's any like physical traps. Would you be able to roll that for us?
I can also take a look.
If our scurries around, she won't notice any traps.
Okay.
How's daughter reacting to all of this?
Dotro went into his room, and it seems set up for him. There's lots of repairing tools and whatnot, and even the footboard of his bed has been taken off for him to lay in it properly. It is a bit strange, but no, I don't really have an explanation for this. I was going to leave it to the sir there that might be more well versed in this.
Breaks in the timeline are bad. I don't know exactly what is going on here, but I don't think any good could really come of it. I need to go talk to the Time Knights. You're all welcome to come with me if you would like, but you don't have to if you don't want to either.
I think it's best we stick together. Start timelines get even more mixed up or something.
Yeah, let's go. I agree. Sticking together is probably for the best.
Move you to this, because I know the world map can have issues with lagginess.
Yeah.
Alright, and as you are moving over to the Time Knight barracks, you can discuss amongst yourselves what you know about the town from your knowledge rolls before and what you've gathered up to this point. And you know that Fen Eld is a small town. It has around 1,325 in the population. The base limit for buying things here is around 1,000 gil, and to sell things here, you go to around 5,000 gil. In all, you would stock up to 4th level casting of like scrolls and the like. Though when it comes to chronomancy, it goes up to 6 just because of the focus it has from the brigade. You'll know beforehand that it worships lesser followed deities, as well as those who aren't normally meant to be worshipped. You already know beforehand Zomala, due to its connection to time and well, the things connected to it. But as you go through the settlement, you will notice churches dedicated to Etro, Alphic, Nimia, and Nofika, who are part of the 12 gods who are set for the months of the year. They are normally counted as the new gods. And just to reiterate, you know that they recently created a brigade of Time Knights. They have been created in the past 30 years, and they are made up of Time Mages, Temporal Knights, Coursers, and other classes and archetypes that deal with time. And if you wish to make notes whilst you are here, there is a party notes section just for Fen Eld. If you want to designate someone to do this on their own, or just do it as you find things, feel free to decide that now.
All right.
I'm happy to do it because, yeah, I don't have anything else to fill in for this campaign, so I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah. Much appreciated.
Then Eld sounds like as if this town is in the past, and I can't figure out what the Eld is right this second, but I'll work on that.
Just so you're not scratching your heads and picking out pieces of hair, Fen Eld is just the name. It doesn't relate to anything.
Okay. So it definitely relates for something, because you're telling me not to think about it. Alright. Okay. Just as a quick summary, so all of our beds, all of our rooms, including Dotaro's, were personalised as if we'd slept a night there before. Is that fair to say?
Yes, and just as the Elvan innkeeper said, he had cleaned them, so they look like, whilst you have, it looks like you have been in there, they have been tidied up every now and again.
In each room, I will ask all the other party members for this as well. Is there any writing or any kind of like if we look over the rooms, is there anything written into either the papers, for example, on my desk, or carved into the beds, or potentially even hidden of some kind of note that we have left ourselves?
Nothing that would give you a immediate help in anything. The only thing you would know is that you did some test writing on a piece of parchment in Edwin's room, but it is just you writ your name down as well as a signature, just so you could test out the quill, and also just to, it might just be a instinct you have when you normally make a new document, just to know that it's yours.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, it is your handwriting. The only way to differentiate would be a linguistics check if you are curious.
Sure.
Seems like it's your right handwriting.
Yeah, fine.
Are
Where
you-
are we now? Sorry.
You're just leaving Then and Now, which is the inn of the settlement. You're going to be passing through the Chronos Sundial Plaza and heading towards the Time Knight Barracks.
Can we ask very quickly before we leave Then and Now to the innkeep? Sorry if I didn't catch this. Were they a particular like race, person, name? I was a little
Elvan.
bit elsewhere. Elvan. Cool. Fine. Good day, sir. What was your name? I didn't quite catch it. I think I was lost a little bit there.
I think he's got his
oh,
name on
I
a
just
placard on his
pasted.
chest.
He has a nameplate. He is Alia Sarian. He's an Elvan, and he is the owner of Then and Now, which is the inn. And as far as you know to this point, he knows the party from yesterday, where you had a party.
Okay.
And while you're looking over your papers, if Zaire happens to notice that, or if you're doing it when he's around, he'll offer to help you just determine if you think that they might be different or anything like that, like different handwriting or something.
Yeah, go nuts.
Now that you're back, Jester, the party just investigated their rooms. They are all personalized for each other. Al, in your room, there is a you would call it fine, but it's more like a brush. It's more that it's a hard brush for wings and scales, as well as it's called scale polish, but that's the brand name. It's what you would put on scales to make them shine. It's not actual polish, so it wouldn't hurt you. Aside from that, the room looks like it has been adjusted in what you would normally do to a room if you were planning to spend some time there.
Nice.
Aside from that, both Josanka and Edwin notice a fading aura in the area, but they were unable to detect it, and it seemingly faded too quickly. I did show 2 handouts that you would have seen. The Fen Eld's info is just what you know from knowledge checks, and then the party notes is what Jack B is going to be handling just for any information you need in this place.
Good okay.
Everybody else has kind of just decided to stick together for now because Zaire's got a really bad feeling about timeline interruptions and stuff like that. And we're on our way to go talk to the Temporal Knights group.
And just before we do so, I will ask. I mean, the way that name is spelled is concerning, but anyway. Elia.
What name?
The innkeeps.
Airlier.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Liar. If you swap the R and E.
Or if you swip the E
Am
and the A,
liar.
it's earlier.
Me no truth.
But I'll just say, the party we had last night, what was it about again?
Oh,
The party.
I didn't think you were drinking that night, but you might have snuck away to do some reading. You do mention you'd like to do that. You came and investigated something in the town. I think you were not exactly in a rush, but, well, I'm an innkeeper. I don't need to know everything you do. You came back in the evening, ordered some food. I'd cook it especially, but you were very kind with your coin purse. And Al then brought up the idea that we should drink our sorrows away. She offered me to join in if I was to go into the cellar. I don't normally do that. And I think it was mostly a de-stressing time for you lot.
You said that Al and ourselves asked to drink our sorrows away. Of course, I didn't drink too much last night, but my colleagues, of course, run their cups a tad. I take it then didn't explain why, as our innkeep.
As far as I could gather, it seemed like you didn't get what you wanted in town. I do apologize, but we are kind of out of the way, as it were. Most of the people that come here are just wanting to sign up with the TK Brigade or are going a further afield.
I see. That will be all. Thank you.
Of course, I shall make sure your rooms are tidied by the time you get back. I know we're back into there.
Could I make a strange request, if you don't mind?
Yes, of course.
If you do insist on cleaning the rooms, would you mind doing it as minimally as possible? Just simply changing the bed sheets, that kind of thing. Leave the desks and everything as they are, please.
Oh, of course. I don't touch our guests' belongings. The most I do is the beds, sweep, and clean the bath. I know Zaire made a very personal request that his bath is cleaned every morning. It did take a bit of firewood to heat it up for him.
And just one last thing. How long have we been staying at this inn? Just the one night or a few?
You arrived yesterday, so today should be the second day. You did say you were buying a week's room in advance. But, I mean, I don't want to insult you. You paid more than that for the other things you got here, but I feel as if your group is very generous.
If I look back at Al and I ask, Al, would you mind just checking our funds, just to see if we've paid this already? How much did you say we paid?
You paid a week's worth of 5 rooms. Dojo had a discount because he has a what did you call it, sir? Me? Sorry. I think I drank too much as well. You don't recall it, do you? It was something to do with the deities, and I know we have something in our ledgers. I'd have to search again. But regardless, you had that meal yesterday, second meal, and my reserves in the cellar. I think it came to around 120 gil, 121.
I see. Al, is our fund missing that?
Not from what I can see.
Would you do me a favour and just have a look?
I've got the bag right here. I'm looking.
If we, for the
As
sake
far
of
as
expedience,
as far as Al can check, you aren't missing any money.
Okay. And just for my recollection, sorry, did they say it was 1-2 gil? Could I write stuff at the same time? 1-2-1. Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to be clear on what had happened last night, just to make sure we weren't too put out there. Sorry, we'll go to the plaza now.
Good luck with your investigations.
Much appreciated. As time is passing, Siren is getting more and more antsy about this.
Do you
And
think
if
this could
there-
be another attempt to delay us or something else?
Possibly. It definitely it's certainly a possibility, but this could be worse than that.
It's awfully targeted.
I mean, it seems that way. It might seem that it's targeted, but if it could just be something else going on in this town that we're noticing because we're outsiders.
That's also possible.
Zyron tends to walk a little bit faster than you guys, just because he is faster. But like he's like moving forward a little bit and then coming back and then moving forward and coming back. Like he really seems antsy about it.
Just
Unless
while
there's any- Go
Sorry,
ahead.
while you guys are doing that, just for clarification, what was the name of the square you mentioned?
Chronos Square or something like that.
Chrono Cross Square, was it, or no?
No, Chronos.
Yes, you're in Chrono Cross.
Oh God, we're in an alternate timeline.
Was it just
It's
Chrono
the
Square?
Kronos Sundar Plaza.
Kronos
Yeah.
Sundar Plaza. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So unless we need to talk about anything else, Zyron's just gonna skedaddle on towards the Time Knight barracks.
I take it that's where everyone's going.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. As you go to the Time Knight barracks, you'll find stone walls gleaming faintly with time-forged sigils. The air smells of steel and lavender oil. Suits of armor, each uniquely marked, stand like silent guardians in alcoves along the walls of the interior. Ticking echoes not from the clocks, but from the enchanted resonance of chronoglyphs etched into the ceiling. At the heart of the chamber, you see a mountain of a man, even for a Rogadine, with braids the size of rope and a smile like the sunrise after a storm. An aging knight in polished half-plates sits at a desk, carving symbols into the inside of his bracer. He looks up, and for a moment, it's as if he recognizes you similar to the innkeeper, and then the visage fades from his face. Good afternoon. How may I help you?
My name is Zyron. We came here originally with this. And he'll pull out the little thing he got from why do this from the necromancer Aristat.
The Rogadine will look at it. Yes, you did show me this yesterday.
No, this isn't good. We have never been here before. This is the first time we've ever been to this town. We've never visited before. Something is wrong.
You did say the same yesterday. As I said, if you are wanting to speak with Sir Perrin, you'll have to wait for tomorrow. He is out of town as it is.
Is there anybody higher up that we can talk to? Something is going wrong with the time.
Someone higher up. Well, there's me. I do a lot of the. He then looks at his bracer. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of timekeeping. That's just bookkeeping. Sir Perrin would be the next one up, and I think she is currently indisposed. I think she's also on a trip. You asked about her as well, but of course she's not here as well.
I need you to look at me and I need you to understand. Something is going wrong. We have never been here before. This is the first time we've ever visited. The fact that you think that there is something that we had been here before, something is going wrong with the timeline.
I don't believe that should be possible within here. I mean, all of our suits of armor are sigiled against sorts of disturbances, and then, of course, there's those. He then points at the chronoglyphs on the ceiling. Those alarm us to changes, and a few of them actually they give us like a bubble to protect ourselves. If anywhere were to be affected, this would be the place that wouldn't be. I believe you. Well, you already asked to see her, but Arcelia's out of town, just like Helveth is. If you really wish to see them again, if you wait for tomorrow, I'm sure they'll be here. If anything, they should be returning around midnight tonight.
Maybe this place isn't affected. Maybe it's just us. I don't even know your name. What?
You already forgot it. I did write it down. He then looks over his table and gives you a piece of parchment. I think you had an issue with spelling it before. It's of course it's Rogadine names here and there. It's Sir Perrin.
Hold on, didn't you say Sir Perrin wasn't here?
No, you're looking for Sir Helveth, yes?
Ah, so Helveth is the one that isn't here.
Yes, he's the one that you have written on your permit there from Aristad Crow, I believe you said. We've had dealings with him in the past, but I've already gone through that hour-long spiel yesterday.
Something is affecting our timeline. Do you have anybody that could look at us and see if something is wrong?
You want me to do what?
I think our timeline is broken. Do you have anybody here who could take a look at us and see what's going on?
There's a few time mages around. We're in a sort of scholarly season right now. A lot of writing, a lot of documentation. As I said before, since you are akin to our abilities, you are allowed access to the Hall of Records at the Armory. Oh, I think I read some. He then looks at his other van brace, takes off the clasp and looks on the underneath. Yes, you said before, that there is something at the Sundell Plaza for you. And something about 4. I don't know what that means.
What? Alright. Siren's gonna take a look at his clock. What time is it now?
As you look at your egg clock, you will know that it is currently 3 p.m. Oh, did you have a sentimental value to that thing? I did give you a proper watch.
No, I have never met you before.
Yes, but before yesterday. You've never met me before yesterday.
No, I've never met you before now.
Sir Perrin, how long is yesterday?
24 hours, like every other day. If we go to a different plane, well, that's a different question. We do have a few planes where we want to spend some extra time reading or dealing with a crafting situation, but those are all closed right now, as far as I'm aware.
And just to be on the clear side, pardon me, what day is it today?
It is the 23rd of no, 23rd was yesterday. It's the 24th.
And that aligns with our sense of time,
As far
as
as you
far
know.
as we know.
Either somebody is doing a really good job of impersonating us or something is really wrong.
Sir Perrin, would it be alright if we did just a quick magic detection? Nothing harmful,
Oh,
just
yes, of
trying to.
course. Do you want those glasses again?
Quite alright. Twin, if you would.
Edwin is BRB currently.
Edwin is staring at the ceiling right now.
Okay. Well, I'll do it for now. Yes, detect magic.
There is magic everywhere in this room.
Just so I know approximately how far away are we from the Kronos Sundial Plaza? I think this barracks is like right on it, isn't it?
No, you passed by the sundial to get to the barracks. The barracks are kind of a bit up a hill. It's about a 10-minute walk.
Okay.
I take it because I wasn't able to identify the flaming magic we saw. I'm not able to kind of try and pick it out now.
It's more a case that all of the suits of armor in here are magically enchanted. The man is magically enchanted. Like, a lot of the stuff here is, like, chromancy because they are that.
Okay.
The area has the same fading aura as before. You could roll another knowledge arcana if you wish.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Hold on, before you do that, remember to blessing his faith for yourself for the +2.
That
Because
is
why not?
excellent call.
Because I'm going to do the same. What is your
Remembering my
knowledge?
own shit.
What is your knowledge arcana?
+9 without the.
Yes. Yours is pretty better than me. I will explain to Sir Perrin that I'm going to cast a spell on my ally. It is simply enhancement. Is that acceptable?
Yes, your ally didn't want the glasses again, though, so I'm sure it's inferior, but you can go ahead.
What classes are you talking about?
The glasses she wore yesterday, she had the same sort of question. She was interested in our glyphs.
Zaire will kind of give Drasenko a look and like nod at her. Kind of like probably take the glasses kind of type of thing.
I think so. I would actually maybe find some use of the classes if you don't mind.
Yes, same as before. Just don't take them out of this foyer. I need them for my work.
Of course not. Just for the moment.
He'll then shuffle his hand underneath his breastplate and pull out a pair of glasses attached to a chain, rolls it over the back of his head, and hands them to you.
What do these glasses do exactly, Sir Knight?
They improve your ability to detect things. I mean, you can check them yourself.
Check the classes.
Wow.
Your glasses that give you +5 knowledge bonus on spellcraft knowledge arcana.
Oh, I was going to give him a +8, but yeah, that works.
+8, what type of bonus though?
It is morale actually, so it would stack. So fuck it. I will use enhanced crit heroism and give you a +8.
Oh boy. Okay.
You're also gonna aid her.
Yeah, why not? I might
You can do
fail.
so if you wish.
I might fail to aid them, but this seems important, so I will blessing my ass and do it. There you go.
Nice.
Be assisted.
So I'm at +15. Am I doing that right?
Okay, so with so because
8
great
plus
heroism
5
is
is 13.
plus
So
2
15.
from the assist.
Yeah, so 15. I
Mhm.
have my own blessing already in there.
Okay.
So +15 to that. 38.
All right. As you take magic and investigate the fading aura, you will find a lingering chronomantic aura in odd places that is shifting and seemingly also not there, as you can detect fluctuations in the town's ambient time field.
If I may, Sir Perrin, did I find anything unusual yesterday when I investigated this?
No. Though I believe you said you would come by sometime in the week to try it again.
I tried again, and there seem to be some, what do you put it, fluctuations in the ambient time field of this town.
Is there now? Do you mind the glasses?
Not at all, and hands them back.
Edwin,
Perrin
if
will
you would,
put the glasses on that size a bit more to round his face. What was Siren doing?
Zion was gonna ask Edwin to do the same thing that he did for Drazenka for Sir Perrin, and then he was gonna ask Drazenka if she would possibly bless him so that he has better chances.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will do base heroism. I don't want to use the double because I only have 3 of those a day, and I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more checks.
That's
So-
fair.
That's
And then if either one of you would aid him, if possible, that'd be great too.
Can I aid if I already made the check?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you auto pass it, to be fair.
Yeah, at this, yeah. I think that's one of the skills that I just built up to be able to auto pass it, because Edwin used to be better at this than me.
How the mighty have fallen.
Just choices down the line we made.
With his enchantments and bonuses, you will notice shock come across Perrin's face as he looks around the room. This should not be possible. We have layers upon layers of protection against this sort of thing.
I'm telling
what,
you,
like-
something is wrong.
I need to make a note of this.
I suggest you write on the inside for other brand brace, Sir Perrin.
This is gonna take up more space. I'll use it on the inside of my breastplate. He then unbuckles the front piece of armor from his chest, lays it onto the desk, and writes on the inside.
Ow. I don't know if this is going to have any effect, but you're a dragon. Or at least, for all intents and purposes, you're a dragon. I know they're quite attuned to magical changes. Do you feel any different at all being here? Do you know if there is a dragon nearby who may be creating this effect? Ow is sleeping. That's fine. In that case, I will ask Sir Perrin, who's in
He
charge
should
of
be here,
maintaining the
duh.
forts? Yeah, he should be. Maybe his mic's not working.
Not enough booze
What were you
house
saying
to be
to Perrin?
trusted.
I was just saying to Perrin, who's in charge of your defences? Who maintains the wards here?
It's a group effort. We don't have a leader for that sort of thing. The Dame would be the most all-encompassing leader that we have.
And who is the Dame?
Aracelia, I did mention her. Should be returning tomorrow.
Sorry, I think it's because I got Helveth and thingy messed up. So Dame Aracelia is also there. Cool. Okay.
Well, what is all you're doing going to be taking a note? What do we do
No,
from
no.
here?
He then ties the plate back to his chest. That's just something my other brace it has told me to do. I shall speak with some of the other time mages here. They have better foresight than some of us. They can use magics and whatnot. Some of us call them seers in that case. And we will have to try and find the origin of this. It'll take some time, though.
All right. Well, you mentioned something about the clock, so I think I'm gonna head there next, and we'll be at the inn later if you need to find us.
And of course, you did not want to check our records or armory? You seemed rather interested in it when you first came.
We will be checking
Alright.
the records and armory, I think.
Sure. Let's go look.
How... The problem we have here is it's 3. How long do you think... How long did we take last time, Sir Perrin? How long did we take to check all of these things?
I don't think you went to the armory the first time. You said it took too long in the records and you were going to go somewhere else. You seemed a bit hasty, and I don't know. I think Zion went off with a bit of a huff. I think you were in the Hall of Records for 3-4 hours?
Then we will return after we've checked the plaza, I think. Shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
As you move to go, Perrin will also stand up and go into one of the other rooms as he goes to investigate what's going on.
And we'll head to where the clock is.
Alright. As you move to the Chronos Sundial Plaza, you'll find it to be a large circular plaza paved with pale blue cobblestones and rimmed with flowering time lilies that bloom regardless of the season. In the center stands the Chronos sundial, a colossal structure made of gleaming brass and white stone. Its gnomon is shaped like a Time Knight's blade, and its dial is inlaid with moving arcane numerals and ancient chronoglyphs.
Is it on the ground, like you can stand on it type thing, or
If you want to stand on it, you can. It's not something you would normally do, but you can.
no? Okay, all right. I will move around the outside of it to where the 4 is, and ask my friends to help me search the area, and then if we don't find anything, start to do some meditations until 4 o'clock, because those are 2 things that I can think of right now. So
All right.
I will.
Roll me perception, everybody.
Come on, Al. We need you.
Lyron's on point today.
I will probably. Is this a long perception check or an instant perception check? Because I was going to ask if I could blessing Al for.
Yeah, you can
Their
bless me
check.
for this.
Cool. I will do that.
Has Jasta fallen asleep? Has been abducted by Chloe?
Jastio?
He's not muted.
Too much mystery, not enough dragon.
Apparently.
I did hear him talk like once, but that was it.
Alright. As you move around the sundial, many of the populace move through here and seemingly don't mind too much about you guys kind of pacing around it. However, all of you can see that the shadow cast from it is seemingly moving against the sun's path. And at 4, which is around the time you're going to be investigating this, it seems to be pointing to a building in the distance.
That's a clear enough sign for me. Is the building kind of like by itself, or is it?
It's on a rise. There's a few smaller buildings around it, but it seems like it is a facility.
Okay. Yeah. Zyron's gonna start heading over that way then.
Hold on, Zyron. We did say we would check the records and the armor first. While I understand your haste, it may be worth us writing down what we've done already and trying to do as much as we can in the time we have. But you are an expert on this, so I will leave the judgment to you as whether we go further or back.
I'm no expert on this. I'm just I barely even somebody who can sense these type of things. It's I just have a really bad feeling about it. Is really all. Yeah, let's go. You're right, though. We should do the things that we said we were going to do. Let's go back to the armory, probably. But
Let's also find out what that building is before we head there.
Indeed.
That's a good idea too.
And I hope it's not something that you've described, but if this is some kind of time issue, I'd like to be as well armed as we can. But I realise, of course, time is of the essence, so I'll leave it in your hands.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go back to the Time Knight place.
Alright, returning back to the Time Knight barracks, Perrin will be absent from the foyer.
Zyron will call out for him.
There is no reply.
Follow in the direction that he went before.
Yeah, you can go down the hallway that leads to a few other doors, so the one he went through is currently locked.
Give it a quick knock.
There is no reply.
Are any of the doors labeled?
Yes. This one you're currently going to is not, but there is one that leads to the stairwell, another to the Hill of Records, one to the dog show, one leads into the armory, another leads into bunks, another goes to a telescope room, and another to a planetarium.
I think we should probably go to the one that says armory, since we supposedly didn't find what we were looking for in the records before.
You might have had a bad roll last time. You know how you are with your dice.
There's a god speaking to me. I don't know what's going on.
Welcome to the club.
This isn't supposed to happen with my deity. Hands off, man.
Hey, they don't speak to everyone. Some of us just get spoke to more often than not.
Dotaro is just standing around like, why don't people speak to me?
I want to talk to God.
That was a
Oh, no.
loud beep.
Don't I certain what we would be finding in the armory.
I believe we may establish what happened with the armor suits, and something has struck my memory. Dotaro was working. You were working on your armor earlier, weren't you?
In the camp, yes.
Yes. And as not one who wears armor, it struck me that, of course, yes, you need to maintain and keep the armor well. It's entirely possible that if something happened before today, and the armor hasn't been maintained, it may have some kind of reference there. So Perrin wrote on the inside of his armor. It's possible there's more examples of this in there. I probably shouldn't be saying this. I've got an intelligence of 7 now, but there we go.
I believe Sir Perrin did mention his brazier told him to write in them. It might be a strange case.
It may be worth a check anyway, but...
Of course.
Okay. Well, let's get to it.
So you're going into the armory of the barracks, yeah?
Yeah.
Please.
Alright. Moving into the west wing of the Time Knight barracks. Sealed behind a reinforced bronze and obsidian vault door that you seemingly can just open as it is unlocked. Inside, you'll see many different suits of armor, as well as enchanted weapons frozen mid-draw in magical stasis fields.
Let's take a look around.
Indeed. I hope Hal can give us a hand, but they seem distracted at present. It's possible this place is affecting them more than we'd hope.
Alright, if you want to search over this room, you can roll perception.
I will pretty blessing Trasenka unless they're blessing themselves for this. If not,
I can
I'll
bless
pretty...
myself.
Zarin, what's your perception modifier these days? Because it might actually be better than mine.
It is +7 total.
It's definitely not. I'm gonna bless myself. Alright.
Okay. Man, Siren is on it today. Holy cow.
Well, this is
Siren's
your...
on edge. Yeah.
Yeah, this is your arc.
Well, you
Apparently.
got somehow.
as you move through the circular chamber lined with the suspended weapon racks, armor stands, and storage alcoves, you'll notice every so often dim crystal sconces flickering in rainbow colors that light up the area. Every so often, they stop for a second as if lagging, but it seems more that the magic that made them is more attuned to chromancy than just the illusions you'd normally see. As you walk around, many of the suits of armor don't have, you could say, scribbling on them. Aside from a few have inscribed on them the names of their owners, and ever so often mottos or legendary sayings that they probably live by. One thing that is of note, however, is a sword that is labelled Edge of the Moment. And whilst many of the weapons are frozen mid-draw, this one is mid-draw, but as you get closer, it seemingly shifts out of its sheath just a bit more.
You all saw that, right?
I believe so. Was the only movement I spotted in this room aside from us.
Zyron will attempt to touch the blade, or not the blade, but the hilt of the blade.
As you hold out your hand, the sword will shake and have the sword fly straight into your hand as your fingers grip around the handle. As you can hear almost an echo in your mind, as if you had read something here previously. As you hear, a blade remembers the hand that held it.
That's weird. The blade spoke to me, or something. I heard a blade remembers the hand that held it.
And that's where you held this weapon. Do you mind if I have a look?
Go ahead.
Blessing of the faithful myself, again. Anyway. Bada bing, bada bing, bada bop, bada whap. That should be +2, because I put intelligence, and I forgot it's down to wisdom, because of a trait, but...
What?
Are you asleep,
Hi, Chloe.
perchance?
Apologies.
Did Chloe find you sleeping in your room? Unacceptable.
Maybe.
I'll go ahead and take a look at the blade as well. Blessing.
Alright. As you look at the weapon, it seems to be almost a exact replica of Zyron's that is still in his hilt, though it has additional effects across it, as it seemingly allows him to rewind his turn once a day.
So it is an S-Dog, sorry, to be clear.
It is an S-Dog, it looks exactly the same as Zyron's.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Al, now you're potentially alive and back. I did ask, because you are a Dragoneer and you have dragon affinities, essentially.
Mhm.
It was to ask if you knew, like, is this a dragon's domain we're unaware of, very similar to when we were dealing with the Eagles, or, like, is there any... I don't know if this would actually have any effect, but you're probably the closest person among us to being a dragon expert. So is there any sign of this happening here?
I'm going to say, just from Al's best knowledge, she's probably going to say no.
Okay.
So this blade, does it come out of the sheath that it's in, and I can hold it?
The sheath is still in the stasis field. You're holding, Edwin's currently holding the sword.
Well, pass it
Okay.
back after just like you explains what's going on.
You are now holding the sword.
Should I hold on to this?
Something tells me we're going to have to pick it up tomorrow. Or today, but yes.
Should I
Then
leave mine for now?
name edge of the moment, say, and like, can we roll anything for that? Or if it's attached to a name, like the others are like attached to names and such. Does this have anything like that?
A few of the other weapons do have names, like Time Slicer and etc. As for this, it just seems like it's the name of the weapon. There's no role that really gives you any history about it.
Okay.
If I take my weapon out of my sheath and try to put it into the other sheath, does it do anything special?
Yes, as you begin to slot your old weapon into the stasis sheath, almost as if it's magnetized, it will kind of fly from your hand and close completely into the sheath.
Whoa. Okay. I guess I'm holding on to this one for now. And I'll put the one out of the sheath and put it into my sheath.
You now have the same S-Dog, except now it can once a day rewind a turn for you. It's a free action to do so.
Okay. I might have to have some clarification on some things on that later, but
Alright.
Does it have to happen on my turn, essentially?
It would happen at the end of your turn, and it would just undo the turn you just took, in case you didn't like an outcome, or you just rolled terribly. You could just redo the turn, try rolling again.
Okay, that would make.
So, say for example, you tried to escape from something, but you failed your acrobatics. You could use this, go back to where you initially were, and either don't do that or try it again and just roll the acrobatics again.
Okay.
I have a question. Sir Halveth, was that the person we met on the ladder?
No.
Not as far as we know. He was just a tinker and a.
Yeah, you didn't even ask him his name.
Okay.
But the guy at the entrance of town was a Sikh, and apparently he is the handyman of Feneld. You saw him cutting foliage and cleaning the sign to the town that was around 2 miles away from the entrance.
Okay, fine.
And he didn't seem to recognize us either. Just putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. It was as if he was meeting you for the first time.
Yeah, and he did like specifically call us newcomers to the town, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oops.
As you are in the armory, another temporal knight will make his way in and walk over to you. Ah, here. I thought you said you weren't going to come into here.
I'm sorry. What was your name again?
No. I said, I know. My name's hard to remember. You just called me Happy like everyone else does.
Well, Happy.
Is he a Rogan? He's wearing he's wearing Chocobo stuff.
No, it's another aura.
Well, something is happening with the time around this town. Sir Perrin is already looking into it. He said that it shouldn't be happening.
That's why the front desk is empty. You know, since he's the third in command, you'd think he'd stick around a bit more. But, oh well. You say something bad's happening? God, that's probably why it's gone.
Who's the first in command?
Oh, Dame Aracelia. She's currently out of town. I don't know when she's coming back.
It's
Okay.
the Dame, then Sir Halveth, then Sir Perrin, it seems.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I must have missed that originally.
Edwin's got it. Did you find that book you're looking for, by the way, Edwin?
No, I was stuck in some of the other records. Remind me what the name was.
Oh, you asked me. You asked if there was anything, like, what was it? Reports? Plans? I don't know. You were asking a lot of questions about Time Knights and Time Magic, and then I got to talk to you about Shiva, and then, hey, Deborah's here. I was talking about him as well, and then we kind of went off somewhere. You said you weren't going into the armory today. Or yesterday, I should say. Yeah. You said you weren't coming in today either. You're going to go somewhere else? I don't recall what you said, though. There was a lot of stuff going on yesterday, man.
I see.
Anything in particular happened yesterday that we should know about, or?
You lot came into town, walked your way up here. I heard you got one of those special permits. It's been a while since we had somebody come around here with a favour to ask, or at least someone that's owed. Haven't seen Aristat Crow before, but I've heard great things about him. Remember, I still want that autograph.
We'll do what we can. He is quite a busy person and has a lot to do with his
No
guild.
doubt. So, find what you need in the armory? I think we said you could take one or two things that take your fancy.
I think I ended up with something, and he'll unsheath the edge of the moment. I did leave mine behind because it's nearly an exact replica, but it seems to suit me.
Happy will look over it and then back at the sword that is fully in its sheath. Alright then. I'm glad you found something that suited you. I don't know if, that's a sword. I think that's the only thing you can take from here, sorry. I know we can't do your normal, your favour. I think Perrin was looking into that for your permit thing. I know you had something else you're looking into, but, actually, Perrin got a bit annoyed with me last night when I said you could take something. Because he hasn't validated the permit, but, you know, we had got chatting. You guys are. You're fine. I'll talk with him when you're gone.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what we need to do from here, but I think we do still need to keep looking for something. We have a building that we need to go take a look at soon. Do you have any information on? And he'll describe the building to him.
You want to go see the clockmaker's workshop? I guess the clock watch that Perrin gave you took your fancy. Yeah, the clockmaker is the one who makes all of those watches for us. Then we give him a bit of a chromancy jimmer-jayers.
Yeah, that's where we're heading next, I think.
You sure? He then happy brings up his wrist and looks at his wristwatch. It's a bit larger. It's more like a bracer than anything. I mean, a bit rude. You could rush there. He closes at 4:30, and it's like 5 minutes. It's like going to a restaurant when they're closing. The chefs don't want you there, but they're going to have to feed you, won't they?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know when he closed.
You're fine to go look in our Hall of Records, though. This place is open 24/7. We've got some real night owls, and actually, I was talking to Dota about Keep Watch. We had somebody who was trying to do that for a month straight, and they were just getting so wired in the head. I think Dota is fine. He's been doing it for months.
That's not good. Yeah, there's just something about it. A restful night's sleep that just good for the body.
Is this when we realise that all time magic is just people shotgunning monsters like every half an hour, and they just don't go to sleep?
Well, at least for Keep Watch, that's a paladin only thing, but obviously time magic has some other stuff.
Yeah.
I just love the
It
idea of
depends on the
just,
person.
I cast haste, and you just throw like, drink this.
Just shoot a freaking shot of caffeine straight into the veins.
It's just adrenaline shots. That's all it is.
Yes.
That seems more like what Edwin would have done to himself in the past.
Oh, if I'd played him further, that definitely would have been a thing. If for the surgeon route, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think we might just head back over to the archives then.
The Hall of Records, yes. The archives is our library. Don't mess the
yes,
two up.
sorry. I'm not the greatest with words. I apologize.
Oh, it's fine. We had a long chat yesterday. If you are thinking about the archives, though, the archives shut at 6. 6 today. It would have been 7 tomorrow, but obviously it's not tomorrow yet. But as I say, our Hall of Records, open 24/7. As long as you put your stuff back, it's fine.
Yeah. I think I saw the placard for that. Let's go.
Sorry, was that 6 or
back
7?
over there. It was 6
The
and
Fedel
7.
archives closes at 6.
Okay. So, archives close at 6, Hall of Records open later. Fine.
24/7.
Hall of Records 24/7.
Okay. Yep. Sorry to interrupt with these. I'm just writing absolutely fucking batshit notes at the minute. Apologies.
Remember to save every so often so we can see the edits too.
I am.
Yeah, and just in case
the
it
party
crashes
notes?
as well.
Yes, it's part of the party notes one. It's not in party notes like main party notes. It's party notes for this part, which we got shown
Okay,
earlier.
then I need to reopen it myself, I think.
Oh
Oh, yeah, it didn't
I,
update me either. Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Okay.
I keep
Sometimes
looking at it and there's nothing on it. And I'm just
Sometimes
like,
they
oh,
update like automatically, and
wow.
sometimes they don't. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's way more than I thought was on here.
I've done it again, so you might need to refresh it.
Oh god. Just close it and open it.
Alright, so you're going to the Time Knight Barracks' Hall of Records, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Also in the that is the armory still. Scroll down.
As we're going to this place, this may be a absolute one-shot, but this seems like a very powerful chronomantic effect. Are we aware of any like famous entity that could do this, or is this just like we have no idea and we're just kind of wandering blind at this point?
You currently have no idea.
Yeah, Zyron seems quite adamant that this is something wrong, and I'm very inclined to believe him. I'm just curious if we do anything about it. And like, I think the only other question was, are there time dragons?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Alright. Exiting this room and going to the east wing of the Time Knight Barracks across from the armory, you will find the Hall of Records, a massive archive of the Time Knights' collective history, orders, missions, as well as some teachings they give for new recruits and the like. As you were explained earlier, it will take you 3 hours to search through this place for whatever you were looking for in the past, or just for anything else that jumps out at you.
Yeah, I would like to go ahead and try that. Is there anything I could do with any of my abilities to like help with this? Like, I know Mode of Time can give me a plus 1d3 to a check or anything like that.
Not for this, because this is 3 hours. I don't think any of your
Gotcha.
things are over hours.
No. But Yeah, what I'm essentially saying is I'm willing to, like, if you would allow it, like, drain some of my resources for my class abilities to try to, like, use temporal magic, essentially. Not like real temporal magic, but like try to get some assistance from a deity or something like that. Not necessarily Zamala, but
There will be a few things, but not currently.
gotcha.
Alright, if you wish to search through the library, it'll be a perception check, please.
Can I ask if we do this slightly differently? Actually, no. Perception check will probably do what I'm going to ask anyway, so go nuts. I will
Okay.
blessing Ow for this.
It's over hours, you won't be able to.
You motherfucker. The first time. Alright, fine.
And does Drazenka still have heroism on?
No.
Yeah, I
That was.
figured.
Yeah, the
Uh,
greater version's only rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Great version, I think, it's 1 minute per level. Heroism
Yeah,
is
it's minutes
10
per
minutes
level.
per level. Yeah, and I didn't extend it.
Oh,
So
okay.
very much not.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I could extend heroism, everyone, but that's not for this role. So maybe yeah.
No. Did Jaster fall asleep again?
Nope. Sorry. I was
Okay.
reading.
Oh, you're reading my deranged notations.
Oh my god.
Yep. Then also apparently can't read and look at the same time.
I have split it into like the main notes and then locations, persons, place names, and misc.
I do have something I could do because things are cool. Can I give up one of my hero points to let Al re-roll that?
Your what?
Can I give up a hero point to let Al re-roll that perception check?
I'm just gonna tell you as God, that's a waste.
Okay.
Alright, as you search through the Hall of Records, you'll move through several shelves of scrolls and codices that rise high into vaulted ceilings, lit by floating hourglass-shaped lanterns. The smell of wax, old parchment, and ozone fills the air, possibly bringing Edwin back to his younger days, or possibly just his nowadays if he still does a lot of research. You do feel a faint hum from all the shelves, as well as just the area here, as many of the shelves and books themselves are magically enchanted, either against wear and tear, or possibly chronoglyphed to seal them in time so that they cannot be destroyed. Eventually, however, Drazenka and Al will almost touch hands in a meet cute if Al wasn't so short, as you will find
Al
a
just
sealed
punches
file.
just punches
s-
Jasenko in the stomach.
Yeah. You'll find a sealed file stamped Aracelia Preemptive Action. And looking over it, as Aracelia was mentioned previously, it has a lot of notes, equations, and illustrations for various chromatic items of little consequence. However, a final page is torn out with a jagged edge. Seeing this, you will know that mending detect magic, or one of those things Zaire was asking, you can spend a moment of time and make a casual check that is based on your temporal or whatever class gives you the most time to basically replicate the page.
Okay.
Either of the first two.
Yeah, my class level for the mode of time is like level 4 or 5, almost 5. So it's kind of not going to be very useful for me to do that.
I can't do anything anyway, so it's down to you guys.
Yeah.
Turn it to you then. I don't have mending as a cantrip, so if Drazenka has, it's probably best they do it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Can Drazenka do mending and Edwin do detect magic at the same time? Would that aid at all?
You do what at the same time, sorry?
Could Drazenka do mending and Edwin do detect magic? Would those be beneficial to at the same time or no?
These are all, it's one or the other.
Gotcha. Okay.
Drazenka, just remember, if you use Faith, you can increase your cast level.
True. Yeah, happy to use mending if you guys are up to it.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drop a fate to increase the cast level, if that helps.
Alright. As you cast Mending across the torn out page of the book, either due to your heightened abilities as a caster, or this area's protection against being destroyed through any timeline, the page, almost as if flicking out of time, reattaches back to the ripped section as you give the page back to it. And you will find a passage near the end that reads, "The Kakern, his visage, his aura, it is the one, the catalyst. Monitoring initiated, recommend containment."
I don't know what that means.
I don't mean any offense, Sarah, but I haven't seen many Kikarin around. I think they mean you.
It's one or two.
I mean, there were a few in the Beastman village. Obviously, Mom and Dad.
Are there many of them particularly chromatically inclined you've met?
What does colors have to do with it? You mean chronomantically?
Yes, chronomantically. You are the time person.
Probably not. But I don't know what this means. Visage, aura?
Do
I
you know
don't think
anything
I'm-
about this Aracelia?
Aracelia? Aracelia is the Dame, so they are the leader of the Time
Right.
Brigade. I've had a thought, but I don't know if it's true or it's simply paranoia.
I don't know either. I'm afraid to see what happens if we go rest. Because who knows what day it's going to be when we wake up.
I think we have at least a method of seeing if that's going to be the case, but yes. Although, well, we'll see tomorrow. I don't know.
It is evening time now, so
Try to catch up with Perrin.
we can see what's
If he's-
happening with what he's found, if anything.
If he's made any progress.
Yeah,
Decent.
let's go look. Let's go check in and see if we can find it before we leave.
Alright. Leaving the Hall of Records, you set about the trip looking for Heron. However, it's going to take some time, possibly 10 minutes, as we will take our break here. And there we go back.
Okay.
Done.
Is it though? Alrighty. What does the party... Well, as you leave the Hall of Records within the Time Knight Barracks, you're able to meet up with a Time Mage that's in the foyer who kind of jumps, but more a case of they were looking for you, so they're just acknowledging your arrival as they move towards you. Hello there. I believe few other lots Sir Perrin spoke about. He wished to inform you that he has moved to the Sundial Plaza. We're currently undergoing a seer's ritual to try and find the origin of this disturbance.
All right, we'll go meet up with him there.
What's your name? Tell me everything about you. I need it for my notes. No.
The nameless time mage walks away before you can note them down. They don't want to be inside this. Are you gonna go to the Chronos Sundial Plaza?
Yes.
Alright. Moving out, it rolls around to around 8 p.m, as Siren is very good at telling the time. As you can see, it's Perrin and a few other of the Time Knights of varying occupations conversing and channeling magic into the sundial.
Is there anything we can do to help, Sir Perrin?
If you are so chromatically inclined, you could aid in this ritual. Though we don't know the strength of it or the distance, it might take some time to be able to locate it.
Anything that I can do to help, just let me know. I'll put whatever I can in there. I don't really have any magic per se, but I do have some chronomancy adjacent things from abilities that I can use.
Whatever you can provide. It's probably going to be leading us into midnight, around which time Helveth is meant to arrive. You'll definitely see this aura, so 2 birds, 1 stone, yes?
Good enough. Yeah, and Zyron will aid in whatever ways is possible.
What the rest of the party can do.
The only thing I'd ask is, what time is it now if they're saying it's going to pull us into midnight?
8 o'clock.
It's 8.
8 o'clock.
4 hours or so.
I would like to do something. Can I cast extended mage armor on everyone? Because I'm curious to see if it will still be on us when we wake up.
Alright.
You guys can feel free to go back to the inn if you'd like.
I have a plan myself, but I'm curious if Au and Josenka have anything specific they wish to look into.
Nothing in particular, but I'm not exactly comfortable splitting up at this point.
There was something that was
Yeah.
mentioned to me, but Au, anything from you? Or are we simply going to remain here?
You have suggestion, Edwin? Please do share.
Happy, the night we met earlier, the aura, suggested I was looking into report and plans, but that fell off. And truth be told, their answers were a bit evasive. I feel like that's something we need to know about. If we can, it'd be good to find that out, but we are here for this ritual. Do we know if Sir Perrin's saying, like, we need to be present for the ritual, or is it more a case of we should be back by 12?
You
Well,
don't need to be here at all. It's just
Yeah,
that
they're
Zyron wants to aid.
Yeah.
How about... I know it may be uncomfortable, Josenka, but time is of the essence. If you're comfortable to stay with Zaire, and if myself and Al go back to the records, we can look into it from there. And in fact, you're the one who was able to identify the nature of this chronomantic, failure. You might be able to tell if it's still happening here or encroaching.
I wasn't able to do it on my own. But I suppose.
Well, let's see if we can do something about that. And I will cast Extended Heroism on everyone, just the base one.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's a fire boy.
I don't know what I was doing.
Al, control your.
No, it's nothing to do with me.
Anything else?
No, I was just suggesting that. I'm not saying we do it. I'm just saying that it may be worth doing while we have the. That's the only sort of loose end I have at the minute, apart from the stuff we don't have time for.
Edwin wants to go right back to the place we just came from?
Yes, because I was going to say I want to have a look into this, and then that person came out and said the ritual was going on. But I understand if you want us to stay here.
We just spent 4 hours looking through there. I thought that's what we were doing already.
It was
so
3 hours of just basically searching for anything, and then we found that note file.
Yeah, because that was a report in effect. I take it. Would that be it? I don't know. I'm happy to just let it go, but yeah. I mean, it was a report.
We have 4 hours until midnight. Could go there and spend 3 hours trying to find more if you can, and come back before it turns midnight.
The problem we have here is that, of course, we can't go to the clockmaker's workshop. It's shut up unless we're going to break and enter, which I would strongly suggest we don't. The only place that's open now is the Hall of Records. So I'm willing to remain. I just don't know what we're going to do here. Zion is the only person chronomantically inclined.
He's also very colorful.
He is quite colourful. I'll leave it with you, Zarin. We'll stay here or we'll go. The choice is yours. This is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. The only other thing I can think of is going back to the inn and making sure the events of yesterday continue. If my hunch is correct, then we need to make this as the same but different as we can. And of course, we don't remember what happened at that party. It's possible someone has spoken about something there that may aid us.
Well, I think I'll be fine here with these people. I don't think anything too bad can happen with all these temporal folks around.
Well, you're welcome to come back with us if you wish. Spend some time in return, but the choice is yours. Whatever we decide, I suggest we decide quickly. If you're staying here, Zion, I understand. I'd like to at least make sure that that is done with the innkeep then, at the very least. But
yeah, I want to help.
I understand. Do you want our help? Or is there anything we can do for you?
I mean, I know I've got your moral support, so I think at this point that's really all you guys can offer in this situation.
Then we will head home. Josenka, I understand you may have some reservations here, or Al. It's just we voice them now and quickly if we can.
I might not be able to help with the ritual, but I would still prefer to remain here if Siren is going to. And just keep a look around. See if I'm able to see any more of those lingering chronomantic effects.
Understood. Al?
As you said
I think you
earlier,
may-
time is of the essence, so I'm happy to go with your decision. If you feel like
Good.
splitting is worth it, then I agree.
My instinct tells me yes. So, while it may be wrong, I think it may be worth us returning and at least doing the things we were said to do. And I would like to at least try and write some of this down, if possible. And yeah, I think myself and Al will go back to the inn, and if Josenka and Zaire are in a good stay here, that's what we'll probably do.
Okay, so what is everyone doing?
Me and Al are going back to the inn. My plan is pay the same amount of gil we did previously and write the events of today's stuff down.
What about Zenka?
I'm staying at the plaza and just survey the area, both just for mundane things, but also with the detect magic on.
And Azarian is helping with the ritual, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Time will continue to tick on until it gets darker and darker, until the only light is that from stars, moon, lanterns, and the ritual as it intensifies. It seems like, just like Perrin said, it is hard to narrow down wherever this is coming from. At around 11 PM, as Zion is right next to the clock, has his own, and there's a lot of time people around him, you'll note to be just around 11:02, as Zion is... Zion and Jazenka, you can both roll perception. See what Zion does for this.
Oh boy. Hey.
Hey! Edwin and Al, you will hear a muffled shout, almost as if someone's trying to draw attention to something. Whereas Drazenka and Zion, you will see a child shouting and pointing to the sky. As they mention, they can see a massive ball of light. And as you look towards it, the ball gets larger and larger until it explodes into a massive flash. And in the next minute, everyone awakens in their beds in the inn.
This seems familiar, but okay.
What?
I think everyone would shoot up just looking around. What?
Yeah, Ziron's gonna rush out of his room.
Does anyone have the time?
Ziron will take a look at his watch or his clock. Actually, he'll look at his wrist to see if he's got a watch on.
You do not.
Okay, he'll take a look at his little egg timer.
Your egg timer is currently not working, as seemingly you didn't rewind it.
What? I always. I don't know what time it is. I'll go open up a curtain if I can and try to gauge what time it is.
If you look outside, it is morning, around 7 a.m.
You were saying that there's clocks on a lot of the buildings here. Can I look and see a little closer what specific time it is? Or is it just close to 7 a.m.?
It's close to 7 a.m.
Okay. Well, it's definitely morning.
Just to understand the. You know what? We'll have to talk about it. Edwin will pop out of his room and look around and see who's out after checking the stuff I wrote down last night. Is it still there?
Where did you write it?
On the papers on the desk.
If you look on the papers on the desk, the only things that are there are your name and signature.
Damnation. Is the mage armor I cast on myself still active from last night?
Well, from yesterday, yeah.
But not the one that I cast. I think I re-upped it on the night.
Would you be able to tell?
I'll leave that down to your discretion. It's kind of the difference between sort of like a fading aura, or not a fading aura, but like a one that's going to last longer and one that's not. I don't know if I'd have to roll for that or how you'd run it.
It would be a detect magic on yourself, then investigate yourself. The amount of time left on your current detect magic is as if you had cast it yesterday. Since yours lasts 28 hours anyway, doesn't it? Or is that something else you do?
Yeah, so I extended
Yes.
it to 28.
So it'd be 28 hours from the morning, not from the night of when they were doing the searing.
Okay, that answers the question I think I was going to pose. So I'll pop out and just see who's there.
Popping out where? Sorry.
Of my room to see if there was anyone in the corridor, because I think Zion was talking.
You could probably see Zion go in and out.
Yeah. I would head out and see who else is there as well.
The whole party are in their rooms or in the corridor.
If people aren't in the corridor, I'll probably knock on. Because, yeah, didn't know what happened. Trying to look for Zarin and Drazenka. And also out to make sure they're alive.
Zion was in the hall briefly, and then he rushed to his window to go check.
Yeah, I was
What
still
time
standing
was-
outside our room.
And Drosek will also get out fairly soon.
You were at the bar last night, weren't you?
From the last thing I can remember, yes.
I don't think I probably was seeing it. Would Al have seen a flash of light from the bar or no?
Depends where she would have been in the inn.
Most likely sitting actually at the bar stool. So I guess where
And
the bar
you would have
making
reflected
decision.
from your back, yeah.
You did see some form of flash.
There was a flash, and then sort of turned to Jazenka and Zarin. What happened at the ritual site? There's no other way of saying this. We've gone back in time.
Oh, I don't know. What day is it?
I don't know, but I checked. I cast those magics on us last night to see, and the mage armor I cast yesterday is up. The one I cast last night isn't. And I will check the magic vestments I put on Drazenka. I assume they're in the similar boat.
Unless you put those on her every morning, they wouldn't be there.
I did say at the start of this session that I put magic vestments on Jazenka and Al before even any of this had happened, just because it was something I needed to start doing going ahead.
Yeah, make a note of that.
They're 28 hours as well, aren't they?
Yeah. No, they're hours per level, so yeah, it'd be 20 hours.
But they'll be having, I don't know, like an hour left.
Yeah. Then yours are the same. The magics I put on you before we even came to this town are running out. Not the ones that I cast previously. It's yesterday morning.
I think we need to go talk to the innkeeper and ask what day it is.
Well, where would Jotaro have been last night?
He'll be in his room.
Fair enough.
What happened at the ritual site? Before we speak to the innkeep, what happened? Because Edwin wouldn't have seen the flash more than likely in his room.
There was
Excuse me, sorry.
a flash of light appeared at the sky, and the next thing I knew, I woke up on the bed in the room.
Yeah, we were helping with the ritual, and there was this increasing light, and then the light just suddenly flared and flashed, and then I was in my bedroom as well.
A flash of... What time was it? Did you see?
It was 11 something.
Around 11, yes.
Ow, did you see anything from the bar?
No, nothing besides just that flash from the window.
And do we have our memories from yesterday, or are they just gone?
What do you mean?
As in, do we actually remember what we did yesterday?
You remember what you did in the town when you arrived. You don't remember the yesterday that the innkeeper told you about for the drinking, no.
Okay, but we do remember what we did.
Before
we
that.
physically did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Edwin's sort of going to just rack his brains for a minute and just say, right. The Cogmaker's Workshop. We have to go to the Cogmaker's Workshop. That's the only place we didn't go yesterday. Or today.
You're right.
Let's go downstairs and see if the locals have any other thoughts about what happened, or if they even realize what happened.
Agreed. I'll follow.
As you go downstairs, the Ilvana innkeeper will ask you to put your child back into the room. There's not a place for them. They will straighten up as they ask. You've awoken rather early for last night's events. I'll make sure to clean your rooms just in case there was any accidents from all that drinking. You don't need to worry about anything. The payment you gave me already is enough for all these damages.
The 121 gil, I take it.
You did seem a bit astute when you came here. You must be the legiman for the group, yes?
Something like that.
It's a good thing you didn't drink too much last night then, Edwin. Can I interest you in any of the specials? I know Al had an interest in hearing them every day.
What are your specials? Or Al, do you want to know about the specials?
Always worth knowing.
Today it is yesterday's tea, now cake, and Chrono Steep cider. And don't worry, I know you do like it a bit stronger, so I can make it a double or triple for you.
How about some yesterday's tea? For all of us.
Of course. I still have some brewed for myself. I normally make a whole pot of it in case there are people with an early morning. Alia will then pour out 4 cups for you. As steam rolls off of the tea, you can see a few yellow-coloured leaves in there that shine to a white as it gets colder.
We detect magic on the tea. This may sound like a
Sure.
long shot.
It's
But-
magical.
Can we establish what kind of magic it may be? Even the school, if it's not something specific.
You can roll spellcraft to identify exactly what it will do. You can tell that this is brewed out of the time lilies that grow natively around here. And after drinking it, it'll give you a deep sensation of nostalgia, as it will bring to you a memory that you have thought about recently, but in much clearer detail.
I will explain this to the party and say, this may be something we need to ingest. We may have some kind of glimmer. I take it you all remember yesterday the same I do. Yes?
I believe so.
Yep.
Then bottoms up.
Correct.
As you drink the tea, you're all brought to several different moments of your time back in Hattahwood, of happier days, either helping your parents, learning about the church, or even hearing tales about Karthurra. As you think about it, you return back to where you are, and it doesn't seem like anything has changed besides just that nostalgic feeling in your head.
That was worth a shot, I suppose.
Well, might as well try the cake and the cider.
That's not a bad shout.
Alright, if you ask for the rest, the cider is alcoholic. Are you fine to drink that in the morning?
It's no different to normal.
5 p.m. summer, right?
Zaire doesn't normally do like a whole bunch of drinking, but like he's of age, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, and he's not gonna like be knocking a bunch of them back. He's just gonna try it pretty much, see what happens.
Alright. If you eat the now cake, it gives you a sensation that it's very similar to the best cake you've ever eaten, as you remember your favorite pastry, though you realize this isn't as good, but it's as close as you're probably going to get. As the Chrono Steeped cider is very strong of an apple taste, as you feel your mind clear somewhat, and whatever jumbles you had in there start to piece together. As at least for this one, you feel as if there might be a more longer-lasting effect, as you'll gain a +2 to will saves against confusion for 1 hour.
Nice.
Okay. To the Clockmaker's Workshop then.
I think so.
Before we go, pardon the strange question, but what is today's date?
The 24th, Josenka.
Right, of course, thank you. Now, I guess we turn around and start going. I'm gonna take another look around with Detect Magic. To try and catch that same
You
chromatic
see
effect I
a
got.
fading chromatic aura.
Yeah, I think we can establish that that may be the boom.
Yeah.
Once we're done here, we should go to the Time Knights barracks again and talk to them. See
Is it worth us?
See if they remember the same things that we do or not.
Is it worth us dropping in there on the way? It is going through the plaza now.
Well, I don't know. They're kind of in slightly different directions. But I'd be real interested to see if Sir Perrin has still got that writing that he did on the inside of his breastplate.
That is a good
Sure.
call.
Hmm.
And if we can get, because we were able to make him see the situation and get working on it, but didn't seem like we were quite on time. If we get that sorted earlier than yesterday, whatever it was, perhaps we might be able to make it this time.
We'll see.
So where is the party going first?
Clockmaker's workshop, I believe.
Alright. As you leave the inn, everyone can roll perception.
Perceive.
Just those two, yeah? Nobody else using their eyes today? Still
I
got
got
some
drunk off the
sleep in
cider.
there? Yeah, apparently.
She was just warming up her eyes.
Alright, Zyron will not be able to see it. However, Drazenka and
Sorry.
Al, you will notice the sea Candyman heading out of town in the direction of the sign.
Be sure to point it out to Zaya and Edwin. Because I probably noticed Drazenka noticed as well.
Alright, and as you move, you can also get a second perception check. As you need to go into the Sundial Plaza to make your way north and then towards the east, Al, you will notice that there is a hairline fracture in the sundial's base.
Again, she will point it out. Is this maybe something that's causing an issue? Is there a way to repair it?
Well, hold on.
I don't remember this being here yesterday when we searched the area.
Indeed, was this you two, looking at Drazenka and Zara, and you two were here for longer than we were. Was this in the clock face previously?
I don't think so.
But I recall.
Is it, what area of the clock face is it in? Is it near the floor?
It's on the base of it. It's not where any of the function would really be.
Okay. But is it near the floor or is it near a different number necessarily?
No, it's closer towards the center, so it would just be on like the eastern side of it. So yes, near the floor, but you don't think it's on purpose.
Oh, okay. Should we try to take a second to fix it?
If you do wish to investigate the hairline fracture, you could roll knowledge engineering, or if you have a related craft, you could also roll that.
That's a no-go from me.
Yep. I can't do much about that.
Yeah, I've got no crafting. Well, doesn't Drzenka have like
I
stonework?
have sculptor for like
Sculpting?
stonecraft, maybe.
You could try that, maybe.
Sure. I'm
Okay.
surprised none of you have engineering.
I did have engineering, and then I didn't have engineering.
Not part of the cleric stuff. I get very specific knowledges.
Yeah, I don't have it as a class skill, so I didn't put any points in it.
Al turns around and goes, actually, I have 19 ranks in engineering. I'm a master.
Master engineer.
I mean, they are very good at taking things apart.
Can I bless myself on this?
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this before, but I was going to extended heroism the party. I think I did say it, but maybe I'm wrong, so you would get the not greater, but basic heroism. And that's for everyone. And that will last quite a while, because I will faith point that. Exactly how long I'll work out in just a moment.
Okay.
All right. Thankfully, due to your sculpting past of making a statue, but not much else, Drzenka, you will recognize that the hairline fracture is not actually damage, it is instead a hidden compartment.
Is it something we can fix, Drzenka?
Doesn't seem to be damage actually. It seems like something might be hidden in here. Can I try to open it? Or does it seem like there's a... I don't know.
You can slide your very long claw-like nails into it and open it up.
Sure. I will try and open it.
Opening up the lid, you will find there is a, you could say, inscription, as, make sure this shows you it properly. On the inside, there is a burned sigil of the chronoclast, a stylized shattered ring, as well as a metallic residue of frozen stasis magic. And upon seeing that, you could you could do several, Arcana, History, and Religion.
I'm going to attempt to aid on one of the religion checks. If anybody else is going to do a religion check, that is.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be religion.
Are we doing all of them or just one each?
You can do all of them. They will give you
Awesome.
different things.
Okay.
Cool. Can we bless on this?
Yes.
Alright. Plus 2 to all these, because they have another oral intelligence. Cool. Al, do you have any of those? They're too busy being Earth.
I've got 1 point each in history and religion, so I could make those checks.
you want to make them or do you want to aid?
I'm going to aid on both of them if I can. Since
Can I try and aid on Drazenka's one?
Really best.
so I'm gonna aid history. Hey, I should have just done it myself.
I mean, I can
And-
only aid Drazenka's anyway because it's the only knowledge I got. Nice.
and then aiding religion. Nope, I failed.
Close.
Oh, actually, I can temporal point, or not temporal point, but mode of time that, can't I? Give myself a D3.
I'm pretty sure you can do those after seeing it, so yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do that. I mean, it's just gonna make it into an aid for a 10, right?
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
I don't need to roll it. Where did my pencil go?
So my Arcana would be 26. And +2 to both history and religion. Well,
Mhm.
a lot of history. And religion.
Oh no, shit! Let's got the thing out. Nice.
Okay, so we're going with Drazenka's because everyone's aiding her, or was Edwin doing his own?
Edwin was just doing his own because I have the skills. So
Okay.
Yeah, Zaire and both were just aids, so both mine aid somebody.
Drazenka's 26 Arcana fails. Drazenka's 29 History will give you something.
I think it's 31. Because they
Yeah,
don't have
'cause
the
you haven't
bonuses in
got
them.
So Jazenka's Arcana is 28. No.
Not 26.
26, you already got 1 aid.
Yeah, I got 1 8. So 26 is Arcana. 31.
But is that with the
history.
blessing that you gave yourself?
But
Or
blessing
no?
is already in there. Blessing is
Oh,
already
it
in
is.
there.
Cool. Fine.
Yeah, because I have that on my sheet.
Yeah, mine have got blessing in them. Just want to be clear.
Pretty sure I have it. Yeah, that's
And
the
you've
council
got-
that's in there.
Religion will give you something.
And just to be clear, you've got the heroism
Heroism, yeah,
ticked, yeah?
that's also in there.
Cool.
Just those I can add on the sheet, but didn't have the 8
Fine.
ticked on.
Just scraping and scrapping at this point.
Doing our best with the knowledge we have, or don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So at least for the Arcana, you got nothing. However, for History, Drazenka knows that it is a symbol linked to the chronoclast heresy. It's a theoretical school of magic that rejects linear time. And Edwin knows on the religion side that some heretical time oracles believe it is the mark of the mythical Fae, aeon unbound, time-made chaotic flesh.
That seems problematic in a place like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And this is just a symbol that's in the drawer, right?
It is a burned symbol of it,
Burn
yeah.
sigil. Could you try to mend the burn away?
Try, I suppose. But still have. Right, yes. I have journal and something pen, so she's gonna try and copy the symbol.
Actually, is this drawer removable? Can I just take it with us or no?
It's like a lid. It's connected to the base itself. You could tear it off if you had the strength.
Okay. No, I don't want to damage the clock if I don't have to. Even
Also,
if it's
might be
cosmetic.
worthwhile to leave it here for now and let the
Leave it open so that
time knights deal with it to see it.
Right. I think we should probably head there first instead of the clockwork place. I don't know. I don't know which one's more important.
Whichever, I would say maybe the time lights first to give them the most time we can to figure this out. Case table reverted to yesterday morning.
So
I'm
what's the decision?
fine either way. It seems the consensus is, Jazenka, were you saying go there or elsewhere?
Well, my suggestion is the time lights.
Then Time Nights it is.
Yeah, let's go.
Because it's still early morning, right?
Yeah, it'd be 7:10.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it took
Return.
Varian time to, do that stuff, so.
All right. If you go back to the Time Knight barracks, you'll see Perrin writing in a journal again.
Good morning.
Sir Perrin?
Did you have something else to talk with me about? I did say Halbert would be here tomorrow.
Yes, we've got a lot to discuss. What did you call it yesterday, Drzenka? There's some sort of temporal warping or something?
Right, since our last talk, there was some temporal anomalies in the air and disruption in the magic somehow. I'm not privy of the terminology, I'm sorry, but might want to take a look around, Sir Perrin.
Also, this is the second time this day has happened for us. What we perceive as yesterday, you wrote something on the inside of your breastplate. Could you check and see if that's still there for us?
Well, this place is protected by many different magics, especially those
You
chronoglyphs up
said-
there, as you can see.
You said that
but-
yesterday and it didn't make a difference. Please just do as I ask.
All right, I was going to say, there's always the possibility. He then unbuckles the plate on his chest and brings it down as he reads the writing. Another one. It seems like you are correct. There is a aura around here. Gotta take some time to find some of the people that can help with this. It is early morning, and they like to do their training now.
Before you take off and go do that, we were passing by the clock in the
Plaza?
the bazaar this morning, and we found a little hidden compartment with this symbol on it, and then I'll have Edwin show him the drawing that he took of the symbol. I believe
This. Where did you find this?
It's at the base
on-
of the sundial.
approximately on the 4 o'clock side. We left it
Well-
open. It might have something to do with these disruptions.
I'll explain what I had on my shoulder plate this morning. It seems like there might be either a hooligan amongst us or somebody that is trying to get others to their side. This is a chrono class, you see. It's not exactly well respected around here.
It is, from what I understand, it's heretical to our order, or to the order that you are part of, at least.
Okay then. Well, as I say, I've got some time until people's morning training is done. I'll go investigate this symbol.
Alright.
Were you still going to? Oh, you've already. I thought you said you weren't going to. Wait. Did you? I guess you've gone to the armory then. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, now that he speaks of the armory, I'm going to go ahead and check out the sword that I have in my sheath and see if it's my original or if it's the one that I got yesterday in our
Hey,
timeline.
it's your sword. That can travel back in time.
It's okay. We did end up going to the armory yesterday in our timeline, and I retrieved this from there.
Feels strange seeing you with it. Could just want to saw you with it already.
It's nearly exactly the same as the stock that I had come to this town with. It's ever so slightly different.
It doesn't seem like the same one from yesterday, but is there anything else you needed before I go investigate the sundial?
There is
Um,
something I would like to ask about.
Yes.
About Dame Aracelia. Has she mentioned anything about, well, us, I suppose, or Zyron in general? Or being worried about a certain individual?
I don't think she's ever met you lots. She wasn't here yesterday. I did offer. Haven't we talked about this? She doesn't know anything about. She's not mentioned anything about you at least.
All right.
In that case, I think we're going to head off to the clockmaker's workshop.
Oh, you were not going to retry in the records? No. I think you already mentioned it. Yes. If you make it, the clockmaker's workshop closes at 4:30, I believe.
Yeah, we should have a little bit of time there at least.
And I'll go investigate this, and I'll go see the others about possibly doing some seer magic to find where this aura has come from.
Edwin, yeah, he's gonna go investigate the clock in the town square thing, and
So same as yesterday. There's no difference to us mentioning those things to them. Okay.
no, he knew what the symbol was, and he is going to go and investigate the clock of that nature, and he's also gonna do some other stuff, I think.
And it's also gonna
Cool.
do the same, but earlier now, because it's earlier. But the
Much
mages
Yeah.
are doing the training, so he can interrupt them now. So he's investigating Sundial now, then go look for the mages.
He also has the note he made in his breastplate from when you talked to him.
Yeah, so we've summarised effectively to him what's happened, and he can take that away. Cool. Good to know.
On the way to the clock workshop, Zyron is gonna be on the lookout for any sort of bell tower or anything like that for any sort of emergencies. Like something that if this bell rings, that people will gather to try to help out with an emergency or something like that. not every place will necessarily have something like that, but he's going to look for it to see if there is. Because if this happens again tomorrow, first thing he's doing, he's just going to go ring the bell.
Everyone, you're stuck in a time loop. What are you talking about? You're crazy.
Check
We
your
saw it
breastplate.
yesterday. If you do look around for like an emergency bell, there's not going to be any just like hanging around. Most people would shout. You would most likely have to go to the local guardhouse for that kind of thing.
Okay. That's fine.
So the party is heading to the clockmaker's workshop, yes?
Yes.
Workshop,
Indeed.
yes?
Yes.
Work. Alright. The clockmaker's workshop is located in the eastern quarter of Fen Eld, tucked away among the narrow streets that lead to the valley's edge. From the outside, it resembles a classic quaint shop with large windows displaying intricate mechanical devices, from gears and cogs to arcane timepieces, each of them ticking in sync with the irregular hum of time. The doors are wide open, possibly to let some of the musty smell from inside out, as well as a clear scent of oil, most likely used on all the different gears in here. Dominating the room that you enter is a large central gear mechanism resting in the middle of the room. It is a complex system of cogs and wheels, with a clock face embedded in its center. But the time is clearly out of sync with the rest of whatever you can find in the village. Several images are carved into the gears that do not move. Aside from that mechanism, you will notice that there is a man at a nearby desk reading.
Good afternoon, sir.
The weathered elderly man with silvered hair will turn to you. Yes, it's a bit early. Can I help you? You need something fixing, or you got a request?
Well, while I'm here, would you take a look at my clock and make sure everything's working on it?
I suppose. He then pulls up some glasses to his face.
I think I forgot to wind it last night, and I don't know exactly how to. I just want to make sure everything's fine since it stopped working. I could have just started winding it again, but I want to make sure.
Yes, I have some tools you can use to fix this. It's a bit of an older model and less sophisticated. Do you perhaps want a pocket watch instead?
I don't really want to spend that kind of money right now.
Very well. Here. He then pulls up a small toolbox from his side and hands it to you. You can get into the insides of that. You look like a new recruit for the TK Brigade, yes? You better if you learn these things yourself.
To a degree, yeah. This is gonna sound really odd, but do you mind if we just have a look around your shop? I have a feeling that we need to be here and look around. We won't touch it.
Pilgrimage before getting recruited. Very well. You can go about the shop as you like. If you do touch things, just make sure you don't break them.
We'll do our best, and if anything does break, we have the ability to mend them.
All right.
And Zyron will take some time to just let himself kind of almost fall into like a meditative trance and then just wander around and do a perception check at the same time.
If you want
Quite a
to
fa-
search around the area, you can roll perception.
Yeah.
Quite a fascinating shop you have there, sir.
Yes, it is. He then just like looks around the room.
I believe Jasenka may be speaking about your central clock. Do you know why it has a different time to the others?
He then looks at the large thing in the middle. Oh, that. It's similar to that egg clock. It's an old machine. And it's a bit annoying to get it to the cogs to change them. Feel free to meddle with it if you wish. I'm sure your time night potential there wants to learn how things tick. As you search around the shop, Edwin, you will notice on a nearby desk, and from what you can tell before from what you knew, there are some blueprints of the chronoclast lens scattered about, showing a rough design of the device that looks very similar to a hand telescope. However, the plans are incomplete, and you need to find some more of them to put together to really see what it does. Zenka, you will see put atop a lectern, a weathered journal sitting atop it, open to around 30 pages deep, with a bookmark ribbon tied from the table that makes it hard to shut. As you can tell, it is a personal account from the clockmaker.
Taking a look at the journal, like what is the last date or time for the entry? And what does it say?
The last one says, last? Question mark? Do you want to read the more important entries, because there are more than that one?
Not sure. I'll peruse it.
Alright, it is currently ribboned to entry 34, and once you can turn pages, you cannot close the book. As entry 34 reads, I heard the sundial hum again today, a low resonance, barely audible, but off. It was not the rhythm of noon nor dusk, nor any hour I have mapped. Something beneath time is stirring. We must hear the bells. Sir Halvith said it was nothing. A fluctuation, he called it. But that man would call the end of the world a fluctuation if it kept morale intact. Still, I've begun rechecking the temporal filters embedded in the plaza. Entry 49 reads, Dame Aracelia visited again. She brought a theory, something called the chronoclast principle. The idea, if you could isolate a moment so completely that no other moments could affect it, could you reshape causality itself? I told her it was madness. She told me it was necessary. She always did dream bigger than the rest of us. Entry 50, that seems to be on the same night. I helped her. Gods forgive me, I have broken my vows. We mapped the fracture spiral. The equations are sound, but every solution ends in a paradox. She says the solution is not in avoiding paradox, but accepting it. I begin to fear this is not science, this is desperation. Then entry 54 has the date of loop 1. It happened. I awoke to the same sunrise, the same birdsong, the same unfinished project is on my desk. I thought it a strange case of deja vu until I watched Perrin trip over the same box of gears twice in a row. We are caught. she used the device. The next entry has no date, no sun, no time. Time slips. The clocks rebel against my hands. Some mark hours I never lived. Others count backwards and whisper things I've yet to know. I try to destroy the lens, but every loop returns it, reset, intact, inevitable. I see now. The loop has memory, even if we do not. Then the last entry that even has last as a question mark in it. The clock is broken. If you read this, you are outside of the spiral, or clever enough to hide from it. She didn't mean for this. Aracelia weeps in the corners of time. Too stubborn to give up, too frightened to stop. The only way forward is through her. Not with blade, but with truth. She must see what she's become. The fail-safe phrase is hidden where time doesn't reach. Say it, and the hour may forget its name. And at the end of the book, there is a cryptic note. The lens is not just a device, it's a mirror, a reflection of the future, a distortion of the past, and the only way to understand the end. And scribbled under the word mirror is a line to a drawing of a teardrop, hastily underlined over and over.
Oh no. Zyron? Well, Al and Edwin as well.
Yeah.
It's probably easiest if you just see this yourselves.
Oh, we can certainly. Oh no.
As Zaire is reading this, like his fur just slowly just stands completely on end until he ends up like a little puffball.
This last section here. It speaks of weeping and teardrops, and a place where time does not reach. Is there any mention of a tear? I saw over there mentions of a lens, but the plans were incomplete. I couldn't put them together.
I mean, there's a little teardrop at the bottom of the page. It's been underlined a bunch of times.
I suggest you look at that clock in the middle of the room, Zyron. It's entirely possible there's something going on with that, because if that's the only clock in this place that doesn't get affected by the current time, it's entirely possible there's something going on with it.
Sure, I'll go check it out.
Are you looking at the mechanism in the middle?
Yes.
Alright. As you move closer to the clock that's seemingly out of sync, possibly broken, you'll see a vertical floor-to-ceiling mounted machine. 5 massive interlocking gears, labelled A through E, are seemingly still, but also, at the same time, pulsing faintly. Each is carved with strange runes. There it is. As the A has a depiction of an hourglass, an eye, a lock, and an open book. B has a flame, a clock face, a raven, and a spiral. C has a sword, a mirror, a teardrop, and a knot. D has a tree, a bell, a skull, and a star. And E has a sun, moon, eclipse, and a shattered ring.
I'm gonna need 5. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna need 5. I just need
Oh,
to. I need to crack something. Come back in a second. I'll be usable, but give me a sec.
oh God. Interlocking gears. If I try to move these gears, what happens?
You know that they are moved via levers at the bottom, at which point they will move the gears themselves. However, as you investigate, you will notice that there are 6 levers. They should also be in this. All of these are in the first position, so it's Hourglass, Flame, Sword, Tree, and Sun currently. You can only move 1 per person, and it seems like the mechanism has a locking safe that after 6 rounds of moving, it locks into place. So over
Okay.
6 rounds, you could do 4 movements each, or 4 movements in total.
4 movements in total. Okay.
If you wanted any further investigation into it, you could make some skill checks, or you could try and pass it just with what you got.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Did you hear what I said?
No, probably not. I said I had to go away for a second.
Okay. All of these letters are in the first position, so Hourglass, Flame, Sword, Tree, and Sun. You
Yep.
can only move 1 per person, and you can only move them all together in 6 rounds, as it has a locking save. So if you had 1 person for A, 1 person for B, 1 person for C, and D, those could all move to I, Clockface, Mirror, and Bell in 1 round.
But what you're saying is, effectively, the ones that we can move are the first parts of each of these, correct? Or is it all of them we can move?
You can move all of these. You would move it 1 entry at a time. So you would move
Right.
Hourglass to I. Next round, you can move I to Lock.
So if I moved Open Book to before I, it'd be 4 movements, correct?
What?
From Hourglass to I, from Hourglass to I is 1 movement. I to
sorry.
lock is another movement. Lock to Open Book is another movement. From Hourglass to Open Book is 4 movements. And after
Yeah.
those 4 movements, it would lock into place and we wouldn't be able to move it again.
Okay.
And you can make skill checks if you wanted to get some more information, or if you just want to pass it with what you have currently.
Skill checks sounds good, if we can do anything.
To start, you could make Arcana checks. These can be aided, but if you aid, you can't do yourself. You can
Fine.
do Blessing.
Jazenka, do you want to take the lead on this one?
Suppose I can do.
Assist. Fuck.
Losing myself. Yeah, I mean, you might as well just do them yourself at this point.
Maybe. I said assist though, so.
Is Al going to
Either.
assist?
Al's not here right now.
I mean, he opened and scrolled through the journal, so maybe he's just being attacked by Chloe.
Skill checks, that's not hitting it with the axe.
Different kind of skill.
That's not an attack roll. Does Iron have anything for this?
Not for Arcana, no.
Okay. Blessing on myself. I've now added the assist.
Nice.
That should be all
All
in.
right. Come on. There we go. Alright, for Arcana, we know that the magic around D is stronger than the others, seemingly one turn away from the correct answer. This does not mean that the others aren't also one turn away, just that D for certain is. So D would either be Bell or Star.
Okay. Paper.
Snow, a ghost. And I would ask for engineering, but apparently nobody has engineering.
Nope.
No, of course.
The last the last check you could make would be religion.
I will aid on that in just a second.
Can I just clarify? Does the journal entries help us in any way for this?
I think it might
Do
have.
you think they do?
think
I'm
that's part
kind
of
of
it.
getting the idea they do, but I just don't want to make sure I'm not wasting my time.
No, I
That's a
think
good
there is.
question, then, isn't it?
I think
There's
there's,
a lot of-
some information in there that might be useful. I'm going to aid whoever's doing religion on this. Yeah, there we go.
I can't
There's
aid. I haven't got religion.
Was that your own roll, Edwin? Check B. Okay.
He's apparently doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
Sorry,
I see how it is.
I was fighting a fly that just flew through my window. Go on.
Was that roll for yourself?
Yes,
hope it
that
was.
was for me. Yes.
Okay. So who's serenading?
I'm assuming it's you.
I'm
Good.
just aiding somebody. I don't know who is all doing religion checks.
I mean, I'm gonna be doing it.
I mean, I did it after Edwin. I guess I can aid Edwin. It doesn't.
Roll poorly.
Whoa. Okay, that's useful. Full.
Gotta space these out so it's a bit easier to read.
Okay, yeah. Not. There, that's even better.
Alright, so what is the end result of that religion?
That's what it is.
33,
Yep.
33, I think.
If you're assisting me, it'll be 33. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright,
Then one would be 18.
Edwin will know. It might give you a hint towards what you're meant to be looking at. You can interpret the symbolism of shattered ring also equates to broken vows.
Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's 5 entries barring last. And if shattered ring means broken vows, that's mentioned in the 3rd. But that's very far on. So it's going to
Yeah,
be difficult to move that back.
I don't think the order of the journal entries has anything to do with anything, really.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe, but... Don't.
Okay, so apparently D is the one that's one turn away.
Yeah, it's either tree or star. Or no, I'm sorry,
No,
bell,
bell
or
or
star.
star.
Bell, yeah,
And
bell or star.
bell is mentioned in the journal. We must hear the bells in the 34.
Yeah, and that's the 4th entry, which is the 4th one down. So I feel like they are relevant.
Well, the order is hard to say it's relevant because the symbols themselves are locked in specific places.
Hmm.
But like bells have been mentioned in the journal.
Okay, that. All right, so far, I kind of think A is going to be I, and there's 2 reasons for that.
I think that
Something beneath time is stirring. So that's an entry, the first entry, 34. So beneath time, hourglass goes to I, and then also at the bottom, the last entry, she must see what she's become.
I think that's right. I think that as well, C. It says in the very bottom in entry last, it's not with blade but with truth.
Mirror.
So I feel like that one has to be mirror.
Yeah.
So that's just
Yeah.
like a 1-to-1.
Also, it specifically mentions mirror. The lens is not just a device; it's a mirror.
It's
to
also
reflect.
there's the line towards an underlined teardrop.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm thinking. Is that
Mirror
it?
and teardrop on the same wheel. We can have both.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
teardrops are reflective.
Scribbled under the mirror is a line to a drawing of a teardrop, underlined hastily over and over. So maybe it is teardrop.
It could be that because like he's been trying to fix it, right?
Yeah.
I
'Cause
thought it
it
could be a
says-
mirror, but he realized it's not. I have to fix this hint because oh shit.
Yeah. Because it says Aricia weeps in the corner of time. So I think teardrop is in there. 100%. I think that's C.
Be my guess at least, yeah.
Could be, yeah.
So
Let's see.
There's broken bow, so that's the E should be shattered ring then likely.
yeah, I think E is shattered ring, but that's quite a lot of moves, no?
It's 4
Not
moves.
necessarily. Yeah. We can move 4 at a time, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we can move 4 different locations at a time.
Yeah, and up to 6 moves. So let's figure
Yeah.
out the symbols and then figure out how we do it.
Yeah,
Right,
makes sense.
Like, otherwise gonna be stuck. Spiral was
think
mentioned. You're outside the
was-
spiral,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
If you're
spiral,
reading
I
this,
think,
you're
which
is
is
outside.
interesting wording because if it's a loop, is it a spiral?
And
I think
also outside the spiral?
Yeah. But is it
So-
a spiral that just curves back on itself? Like it's still a spiral, but it just goes all the way around.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, outside the spiral, does that mean, like, not the spiral itself?
It's possible that also sounds like you're reading too deep into it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Which I appreciate
Hey,
because I do that a lot.
Overthinking is one of my superpowers.
Okay.
No date, no sun, no time. Well,
Right.
if you already know E is shattered ring, so sun is out. Time may be hourglass, so that would match up with the eye theory.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like clock face is somewhere.
Clock face is
time
also
can't see.
time, yeah.
Yeah. But if it's saying you're outside the spiral, maybe it is spiral. Because if time can't see outside the spiral, but yeah.
What symbol would be for date?
I was thinking about this, and I couldn't really. The eclipse, maybe? I don't know.
Open book, but that's a stretch.
Mm. This is obviously a work in progress, so I'm just popping down what we've got.
Well, D could either be Bell or
Oh
Star.
shit!
Oh, what happened? What happened?
As a scribble under the mirror is a line to show a drawing of a teardrop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case of it swaps the mirror or is it directly underneath it.
It can't be underneath because they're on the same wheel.
Yeah, we can't move
Because
it
that
far
was my
enough, can
first
we?
thought when I realized that we can't like swap the symbols per cock. They're on specific cocks. We can't
Yeah, I
have
think-
both mirror and a teardrop.
So I think that's it. I think it's like a final, midnight's coming, the flash is about to happen. How do you show its teardrop? So yeah, maybe we stick with that. Okay. I mean, we could try that.
We could. Okay, so I would be one move for one person. Spiral. Somebody would need to stay there the whole time and move it forward through the entire time that we have. Teardrop is 2 moves. Bell is 1 move, so whoever does Teardrop could also do Bell. Shattered Ring, somebody's gonna have to stay there the whole time for that as well.
My only thought with failsafe phrases hidden where time doesn't reach. The dead aren't affected by time.
I believe that this clock that we're working on right now is... I believe that once we solve this, it's going to reveal the passphrase or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it is outside of time because it's not working.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not the current. Cool.
It's
Yeah,
the
he
only
said
thing
this is broken,
stuck
so
outside of...
yeah.
So, do we want to try what Edwin has written down there?
Yeah, I think so. Those match up with what we talked about so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does everybody want to grab a certain lever?
Do we have to always turn 4 gears, or can we do less?
No, we can do less.
You can do less.
Okay.
It's just that there's only 4 of you. Well, technically 5.
Yep.
I guess you can have Dotaro help you.
That's true. Does he want to help?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he wants to be stuck here any more than we do.
Right. Is he being affected by this like everybody else is, or is he like along the same lines as us, like things are happening and this is weird and this needs to stop?
The latter. He's just like you guys.
Okay.
He's one of the team.
All right. Let's try that then, I guess.
Alright, so you're inputting Eye, Spiral, Teardrop, Bell, and Shattered Ring, yeah?
Yes.
Alright, there's another check that nobody can make, as after going through the 6 rounds of starting to move all this stuff, you will hear 6 pieces of metal slide into place as a cacophony of nice sounding clicks go through with an utterance of a very low toned thud as you know you got some correct, however some of them are wrong, and sadly you can't identify which.
Okay.
There was me thinking we got it all right, so I closed it all down. God damn it.
I was not sure one way or the other. We could switch bell to star. That's one thing that
You
we
would
could
if
definitely
it wasn't locked.
try. Oh, it's locked now.
Can't do anything with it.
Oh, we have to
Oh,
come
dear.
back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fudge.
That's annoying.
Okay, well, write that down as not the answer. All right, let's just continue on with our day, I guess. Zyron would like to go sit out in the plaza and wait for the time mages to show up, and then he's going to help them and see if anything changes. Now that they know about, I feel like this is since we got this wrong, nothing is going to change for us. It's still gonna.
There's still the archives you can go investigate.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
let's
true.
still look for other stuff. Before we
Yeah,
leave, talk to the clockmaker for a bit. Sorry, what is your name?
I am Aetherus Morn. I heard some clunking. You fixed the clock.
We
not yet. But
tried,
we're working
but
on it.
this might be a weird question, but we haven't met before, have we?
No, don't think so.
Right. I spotted your journal. Do you remember what you last wrote in it?
You can't let books around. You'd have to be more specific.
About what you helped Dame Rasilia with?
What a nice little girl.
Right. Wouldn't know if we haven't met her yet. Apologies about the disturbance. We'll be on our way, I believe.
You can probably find her playing with the other kids.
Are we talking about the same person?
Yes, little Arcelia. Always a happy one, that.
I'm referring to Dame Rasilia, the leader of the Time Knights here.
Yes, I do. Very cool time nights.
I try something, and I'm sorry to sense motive first.
Alright.
Where were you on those knowledge checks? Okay.
What you sense
it-
motivating.
Like, does this seem like a case of genuinely, how do I word it, like senility almost? Or is he trying to fool us somehow? Is he hiding anything, or is he just confused or whatever?
It definitely seems to be a case of him being senile.
Okay. It's not exactly ideal. Okay. Can I try to detect magic on him?
Mhm.
Do I see anything going on?
You can roll Knowledge Arcana.
I sure can try. I bless myself.
Yes.
Cool.
as you look over Aethyrus, he looks very similar in aura to your party and dissimilar from everyone else in the town, almost as if he is also out of the time loop.
Okay.
He knows.
He knows, but he doesn't remember. Seems like.
He's been living this day over and over so much that he doesn't remember anything anymore. He actually has aged the entire time, so.
It is fucking
Which
scary.
is terrifying. Absolutely. And he probably can't even die.
So yeah, the sooner we fix this, the better for everyone involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get going.
Right. Thank you for your time.
Time is all we have.
Those are the words of a broken man.
So is the party heading to the Feneld archives?
I
Yeah,
think that's the
can't
next
do that.
stop.
Alright. Moving over slightly more towards the west, you do not move through the plaza to get to this place. You will find a domed stone building at the heart of the valley, shaped like a spiral shell symbolizing the recursive flow of time. Stained glass windows depict the 12 gods and their months, and clocks, none of which agree, tick quietly on every wall. Books are stacked in haphazard towers, whereas dust seems to settle in reverse. Aside from the corridors of books, you'll see a automaton sitting within a curator librarian seat.
Excuse us?
Welcome to Feneld Archives. Might I help your perusal, or do you wish to know about the time well?
What's the time well?
The automaton creeps and points towards a fountain in the center of the library. The time well is an artifact that lets you see
Lets you see what?
information forgotten.
Can we look at it?
Yes. Please make sure you have a towel.
Where would we get a towel from?
A laundromat.
Or I can take care of the wetness.
Do not suggest wiping face in fur.
What did he say? Do not suggest what?
He doesn't suggest wiping your face in her fur.
Oh, gotcha.
I meant
think-
by magical means and cantrips.
Magic,
It
magic, magic.
Is that permitted?
Information forgotten.
Okay. I think we're just gonna go check out the time well.
Please let me know if you need help in perusal.
Will do.
As you make your way to the fountain, you will see a swirling pool of water in it. And from what the curator informed you, or at least warned you for having a towel, you're pretty sure you need to dip your face into it.
Sure. Zyron will go ahead and do that.
I was gonna suggest taking a look at it, but sure.
Oh.
Alright.
Zyron's desperate.
Yeah, sure.
Zyron, give me a will save.
Okay. We're outside of the time frame that the buff would be on still, right? From the drink.
This is a confusion, so it doesn't work regardless.
Okay.
But yes, the drink would have finished by now.
Gotcha. Okay. One save. I'm gonna go ahead and do Charmed Life.
Alright.
Number lock. Thank you. Okay. There we go.
Jesus.
Nice.
My charisma is now +8, so I get big bonus. And I am actually getting better saves to will now that I'm a temporal knight.
Alright. As you dip your face into the water, you will see, as if looking, at least in this world, it's not a good replication of it, but it's like you're watching a movie, but you're actually an actor in it. As you look upon a scene of yourself, Zyron, meeting a pale fey lady, as they whisper, "Close the eye before it opens forever." Along with that, you see nearby a tree bent into the shape of an hourglass, a lantern hanging from a branch where no lantern has ever been hung. As you try and peer closer, you're pulled out as your head dips away from the fountain as you need to breathe again.
Okay. Can I get that in writing, please? Because I don't feel like we're gonna be able to be here much longer, because I know I have to leave soon. Close the eye before it opens forever. Okay. Lantern? Flame, maybe? Okay, actually, Edwin, would you mind putting that in the party note thing?
Already done it.
Alright, fantastic. I was assuming that was probably going to be the case, but I figured I might as well mention it. Ooh, I don't. Okay, there it is. Okay, gotcha. Well, I unfortunately think I have to go, so...
Yeah, we can end the session here. And then come
Figure out
back
the
in like
parcel.
2 weeks where everyone's forgotten everything.
I've written many things, but
yeah, lots of information in there. Thank you very much for doing that.